From author Brian K. Morris comes a classic hero in a high-flying, fast-paced, and action-packed steampunk adventure. The original Skyman battles the Master of Steam with an introduction by comics icon and historian Roy Thomas. A Rising Tide, an Ace Comics publication. Available now in print or digital format on Amazon.com.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore with your host, Brian K. Morris, independent publisher, freelance hybrid author, award-winning playwright, and former mortician's assistant. Beware, beware. That might not be a phone jingling in your pocket. Join the Nevermorians for morning mischief and madness at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 Central. Your sense of humor is the only thing you need to wear.
Hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore for Friday. Yes, Friday, December 4th, 2020. Hope you all had a good week. Hope you're planning on having a great Friday and a great weekend. All right, there's a lot to do this weekend. We'll tell you more about that as the program progresses. But anyway, thank you. Welcome to the show. I'm Brian K. Morris, your host, but who else would brag about doing that, right? And we appreciate you being here, whether you're watching us on the reruns or you're here live interacting with us. We'd love to have you here live. It makes the party a little merrier. So anyway, wherever you're watching us, if you're watching us on Facebook, on the Rising Tide Publications page, or the Indie Vent channel, please, if you like what you see, like the video, if you would, please. It helps in the algorithms, and it also helps the page if you would also like the page if you haven't already. It would help everyone involved a lot, all right? It just takes a couple seconds, doesn't cost you a thing. It is the thing to do. And also, if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you for being here. And again, if you like what you see, please give this a thumbs up, this video here. In fact, go back through our catalog and check out all our past stuff. We got a lot of great content here. You will find. And also, if you want to keep up on it, be sure to subscribe and also ring that bell so you'll be notified of all future appearances. That we do this 3 times a week at 10 a.m. And then on Tuesday nights, we do a Clever Title Pending, which is an interview show with some various creatives of various disciplines. And last week, we had John C. Bruning, a fantastic publisher, writer, editor, the Midnight Guardian. I love that name. He was on, had a lot of great stuff. We had a great time. And also check out our Wednesday special with Pulp Reality #1 to celebrate the launch of that. We had Charles F. Milhouse, brand new writer Kelly Austin, and Rick Bradley, and the one, the only Bobby Nash, who's going to start thinking that's his first name, the one, the only. But anyway, thank you for being here. And also, we want to thank Plasma Fire Graphics for sponsoring this episode. PlasmaFireGraphics.com, when the look of your book matters to you, because it does matter to your readers. So check out what they can do. They can also do great videos like you saw at the top of the show. You will love it. And the show is, by the way, powered by geekinsider.com. Check out their amazing catalog of broadcasts, including this one, of course, and also Rising Tide Publications. That's at risingtide.pub, where you can sign up for our free monthly newsletter. And so enough about me. Let's talk about you guys. How the heck are you? I know Sarah got here. Holy cats, she got here. She's been here about 45 minutes already. So let's start in with the comments. And by the way, thank you to everyone who shares this broadcast. Please share this if you would, so other people can see the cool people who are going to leave their links during the course of the show. And thank you to everyone who's given us some love, like Brian Winslow and Terry McIver. Glad to see you guys here. Hope you're having a great one. And Matt Shore and Jeffrey Hayes, thank you for liking this show. We like it, right? We like you right back. Anyway, Sarah starts out the show. The Dark Mistress of the Dark Church of the Rising Tide. Hey there, happy Friday to you. And there's gospel illusionist Jake Lindsay. Hello. And speaking of hello, here's my honey. Just a second here. Thank you, sweetheart.
You're welcome.
Appreciate this. Oh dear God, how I appreciate this. Oh, you're leaving it for me?
Yep.
Oh, God bless you. Thank you, honey.
You're
Appreciate it. Yeah, see? And by the way, everything tastes better when you drink it out of one of these. Is coming in many adorable colors. I think we even have a purple, I think. Yeah, we have a purple cup you can get. Really lovely. Also, a darker blue, white, and I think black. So if you want to espouse the gospel of the church, the Dark Church of the Rising Tide Publications, please do. Anyway, thank you, honey. That was Cookie. And hello to you, Gospel Jake Lindsay. Hope you're doing well. And if you've got a Facebook request for me, it really is him. He made a new account. So anyway, be aware of that. And please give the new gospel illusionist Jake Lindsay a like, okay? Oh, Kufefe. Actually, there's times I should just do this, And that'll be the next meme that Carl sends me anyway. And hello, Jake's from Sarah. Good to know about the new account. Thanks for the FYI. And he just wanted a fresh start on Facebook. And how many of us couldn't stand that some days? Anyway, I'm glad you let me know that too, Gospel Jake. And I go days without being on Facebook, so don't be concerned if you don't hear back from a while. It's nothing personal. Yeah, Sarah disconnects every now and then. I think that's why she's probably one of the saner ones around here. And I disconnected a few days, like a week ago. I thought, I've had enough of social media for one lifetime, so I'm checking out for a few hours. And it was amazing how many people are like, Brian, are you okay? Did like a bus hit you in the middle of your office or something? What? We haven't heard from you. That's when you know you're on the air too much. But anyway, speaking of being on the air too much, if you don't like this program, tomorrow's going to be a hell of a day for you. We are going to be on 3 times tomorrow at 1. All times are Eastern. At 1:15 Eastern to 1:30, I will be appearing at CromCon 9. Check out the CromCon page, CROMCON. Pops Van Zant is running the monthly virtual convention, and I will be on talking about the elevator pitch, why you should employ one, and why talking for one. When you can give your pitch in 30 seconds, talking for 1 minute isn't going to get them more excited about what you do. But anyway, we'll be talking about that tomorrow. And then from 5 p.m. to 5:30, join me for a launch of T.L. Shively's newest book, The Battle of Sleeping Lady. And I'm real excited to be a part of that because we love Lynn. She is our evil Lynn to our Orko. And then at 6 p.m., from 6 to 7, we'll have a special Nevermind the Furthermore. We're going to make it an Ask Me Anything. Tomorrow night on Charles F. Millhouse's party, we are going to be talking about Charles F. Millhouse, a brand new book, Pulp Reality #1, brand new magazine, actually, with a hell of a lot of great contributors to it. And he's got the next 2 issues somewhat planned and some names that are going to knock you out when you see them. But anyway, we'll be on for an hour with the special Nevermind the Furthermore and talking about Charles, talking about a relationship, and we're going to make it an Ask Me Anything. So anything you want to ask me, even if it's personal, I will answer it with as little evasion as I can manage. And if you want to ask me something about business, about how to advance your business, about how you could become part of something like Pulp Reality number 1, if you want to expand your reach, if you want to just figure out why do you do what you do, come bring your questions. I would seriously love to answer them. But anyway, Sarah, I love you. I love the out of you, and I'm glad you're here, darling. And Gospel Illusionist Jake Lindsay understands, and it's refreshing only having 300 Facebook friends. I probably have 300 true Facebook friends, but I've got about 2,500 other people that are following me, or just are friend whoring, I guess, that they want to make their numbers look good, and I have very little interaction with them. And I tell you, sometimes Gospel Jake, I sometimes I don't start my account all over because I don't want to rebuild it. But by the same token, I will this is terrible, but I sometimes post something so outrageous, I'm sure to offend some people, usually of a political nature, that it drives some people out. Last time I did, it didn't work, though. I actually gained a few people when I did it. Oh, the best laid plans. But every now and then I will go through, and it's like, I haven't heard from them. I haven't gotten a like. I have no interaction with them whatsoever. Delete. So if and most of the time people don't notice, but sometimes people are like, well, why did you unfriend me? Well, because you haven't been a friend, and I haven't either. So anyway, that's what happens on my page. So if you get dropped, now sometimes it is Facebook. Sometimes Facebook does drop people seemingly at random. I've had that happen more than once. I've got a friend, David Anthony Kraft, writer, editor, a terrific human being, love reading his posts, but somehow we had been unfriended, and I'd made I realized I hadn't heard from him in a while, so I looked him up, and I saw he was still posting. I thought maybe he dropped off of Facebook, so I made a post, and he's said, well, Brian, and I wrote him, and I said, dude, did I say something to offend you? And he goes, no, I thought you unfriended me. I'm like, no way, I like you too much. And we kind of reaffirmed our friendship, and we've been tight ever since, and making sure that we can still talk to each other. But every now and then I'll have somebody say, well, Brian, why'd you unfriend me? And probably 19 times out of 20, I haven't. So it's Zuck, you never mind. The spoonerism doesn't work with Zuckerberg's name. So but anyway, by the way, we do have merchandise now. In case you're wondering what I am drinking from, the Rising Tide Publications page. And we are going to be working on more merchandising. And we also have things like phone cases, which I've got to order one for my phone when I get a new one next year. And also T-shirts, tote bags, and COVID masks. Wear your favorite logo on your face, which is where we want to be, on your face. Anyway, and Carleen says, hey, all, mwah, Carleen, how are you doing, darling? It's good. So good to see you and Carl in Stupid O'Clock last night. That was a great show. Check out Stupid O'Clock from last night. They had our own Nick Tockert on there, and he was amazing. He was his normal ebullient self. And Carly, oh, I hear it now. And I get to sell most of my magic next week. What? You're selling your magic? What are you talking about? And Ted Davies Artistry, good morning all. TedDaviesArtistry.com. Ted Davies Artistry on Facebook. And by the way, you and Carl had a sensational show yesterday. And thank you for answering my questions. I hope they weren't too stupid. And but no, these guys did a special live episode of their cigar appreciation show, and it was really fun to watch. I had to leave because I had to feed Cookie. You understand. So anyway, check out yesterday's program on Ted Davies Artistry on YouTube. And while you're there, please give that page a subscribe, okay? Because he's doing some great content, and he's doing some fantastic creator interviews, as well as glimpses into his own art and process. So please support Ted Davies. He's like packing that with solid content. And Green Room Ted, morning from Sarah. And Grant Lankard, hey-o, glad to see you, sir. Glad you're here. And so is Sarah. And Carl Witzman goes, unholy crap, you guys were here early. And Ted Davies says hi to Sarah and to Carl. And hello, Vietnam. That's it. You get it. And I like the page, Sarah. You don't have to yell at me. Go ahead and yell at me. We like being yelled at by the Dark Mistress of the Dark Church of the the Rising Tide, and everyone's coming out at once. Hello, oh Dark Pope. And Sarah mocks Grant with the laughter, and but tells him he's a good man. And Carl, no, I saw that earlier, Carl. I promise I will not read that. I promise I will not read that. And Carl wasn't meant to be, but sure, yeah. I don't, but I'm not going to take that out because at least I didn't sign my name to it. And has Brian ever refused to read something? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Occasionally I will get someone, and it's usually somebody that comes off of YouTube, finds us in a search argument, or we pop up occasionally on the recommended, and it's thanks to you guys, on the recommended page, and then they come in and have no idea what this is about, which I understand. We are Nevermind the Furthermore is a pretty unique beast, and but occasionally somebody will say something where I don't think I've ever cut it off because of language, because I'll let you guys say and just things like that. I'll let you say things like that all day long, but we have a 7-second delay that works most of the time, so we don't have to worry about that. And sometimes I will not read things because we have had times when somebody comes on and dominates the conversation with stuff that is totally irrelevant to what is going on. Not that there is a whole lot of ongoing relevancy to our conversations here, but just the same, it is so far afield of what we are trying to discuss. Most of us are trying to discuss that. I have, in fact, I had one person that was doing this so often, I just said, I refuse to read anything you post from now on until you straighten up. And that's as close to being the sheriff around here as I get. So, but yeah, I have refused to read some things. I really have. It may not seem like it, Grant, because I do want this to be a free exchange of ideas and to allow you to feel comfortable to say what you need to say. And sometimes it leads to some uncomfortable conversations, but sometimes those conversations need to be had. So anyway, yes, the answer is yes, but not often, Grant. So you've just now gotten a horrifying glimpse into the background of what little goes into the preparation of the show. Anyway, Teresa Dunn from YouTube. Mwah, good morning to you, darling. Hope you're having a great morning. Hi, Teresa, says Grant Lankard. And I'm super happy the sweetest girl on Facebook is here, Sarah. Oh, yeah. And thank you to Brian Winsloff and Rick Bradley for sharing this video. Thank you, brothers. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you, too. And don't forget, tomorrow at 2:15 Eastern Time on every Saturday, Reels and Heels with Brian Winsloff and Nicole Jobin is happening tomorrow. And if it weren't so jammed up, I'd be there. Just to let you know, 2 Saturdays from now on the 19th, I will be on there, making my grand appearance there, and Brian will probably say about 15 minutes into it, it's also Brian's last. But no, we'll be there, and we'll be talking about famous spaceships, and that's been fun to think about, because I've got a bunch of them. I really do. And some of them, a couple maybe a little obscure. I may have to start writing this stuff down. So anyway, gonna be a good time. And who is that, Jake? Well, hello, Teresa, says Sarah. And oh, that's sweet, Jake. That is sweet of you. And Sarah is the sweetest in my opinion. She is a darling. I have known her for years, and I treasure her friendship. I really do. And the Dark Mistress of the Dark Unholy Church of the Rising Tide. Well, okay, if you say so, says Carl Witzman. Oh, we all love Sarah, or would kill for the chance to. And Sarah goes, ha! Anyway, I see now why Jake is so popular. Well, you give him a moment, maybe he'll start flirting with you too, Grant. Anyway, I ain't popular, Grant. I just love people so much. That you do, brother. That you do. It's a good, and you seem pretty popular to me, and not popular, says Carl Witzman. Maybe elm or maple, but no poplar. That's true. Well, you could say that some of, like many of us, the performances could be a little wooden, but anyway, let's go back. Oh man, we are we're so far behind just from the people that got here early. I haven't even gotten to the part where I show up yet. Oh, bear with us, folks, please. My main goal, says Jake Lindsay, is to treat people the way Jesus did, with love and kindness, and that is very true. That is a very good way to live the life, man. And back of the cereal box, an incredible new channel on YouTube is here. Good morning, Multiverse. Good morning to you, Citizen John B. Pica. Glad to have you here as always. Check out johnpica.com for all this amazing man does, and check out his Patreon page under Impossibilists. Do a search for Impossibilists and give this man some love, would you please? And Carly Carleen mocks Carl Witzman with her laughter, but he should be used to that by now. And hello, Vietnam. Well, you already said that. Yes, you did, Jake. It was worth repeating. So, anyone write anything this week? Carl Witzman? Yes, I did. I am, as we close out National Novel Writing Month, I actually am up to, I started out, I think, on starting chapter 4 of my first draft flash novel, and I am actually halfway through chapter 18. I did not succeed in NaNoWriMo, but yes, I did succeed because I'm closer to a finished first draft than I was when I started. And also the first views of that book are going up on my Patreon page right now, which if you look for this, patreon.com/Brian K. Morris, all one word, all lowercase. Excuse me. Just had breakfast with some friends. But anyway, that's our channel on Patreon, and we are populating it as quickly as we can. I'm glad to say. And it's been a lot of fun. I try to get on every day and interact with the people on there. So if you sign up and even once, even just $1 will get you something. It'll get you a mention in everything we do. Did you see the Patreon thing at the top of the show? If you want to get your name put into this program every time, please support us. And $5 will get you a month. Will get you a look at our first draft flash novel, tentatively called Ebony Terror. That is definitely going to change. But we're batting around some other titles, but we're also going to give our Patreon people a choice. Plus, here's a little, I haven't really discussed it except with my Patreon people. There's exclusive content on my Patreon page that won't go into my newsletter or into my, or on this show or on YouTube or anywhere else but Patreon. One of the things we're going to do is we have 2 slots in the book, at least 2 slots. One is a crooked politician, and the other one is I'm pretty excited about it. The other one is a lady assassin, and we are going to be offering the Patreon people a chance to have that character named after them. Both of them will disappear at the end of the book, but we're going to make them as vile as possible. You get to be a villain or a villainess. This will be fun. So if you want to see your name in print, sign up for my Patreon page. Otherwise, what we may do is we may sell those. anyway, it's going to be a fun time. We've got some good content, I think, on our Patreon page. So please consider supporting us on a monthly basis, and we'll make it worth your while. So anyway, Carl, yes, we did get some written this week, and hope you did too, man. And good morning, back on the cereal boxes, Sarah. And Gospel Illusionist says, Jake Lindsay says, I'm writing checks, Carl. I have a debit card for that. And Grant Lackard, I finished the first issue of my comic book, Carl. That's what we love to see. Grant, that makes me happy. I'm not faking it, man. I rarely fake anything on here. Lord help you all. But anyway, I love seeing people get stuff done. Because, Grant, I'll tell you something. Here's one of my many sermons. It isn't just Jake that does this sort of thing. It makes me happy to see people start projects. Because I talk to so many people who look for excuses not to get started. Well, I can't do it because there's something on TV tonight. I've got to play video games every waking hour until I fall asleep at the console tonight, like I do every night, so I can't get anything done. If you tell me you have to take care of your elderly aunt because she's sick, I'll give you a pass. If you say, I have a migraine, you get a pass for tonight. But if you are of reasonable health and you have no family or personal obligations, and we're talking about literally life or quality of life or death sort of things. If you are passionate about creating, you'll find ways to create, and you'll do it on a consistent basis, so it becomes a habit till it gets to the point where if you don't do it, it hurts. Okay, and that's how I feel about writing. If I don't get anything written, even if it's just a dozen words, I've got to move forward. Otherwise, I really it literally aches to not create. And and when you do something, Grant, when you finish, do you know what rarefied air you're breathing then? Because there's a lot of people, and I have been in this area, dude, and not just long ago. I have dozens of projects that I started and lost interest in, or wrote myself into a corner, couldn't figure out how to get out, or hadn't found my real process yet, and they just sat there until the urge to do them went away. But finishing something, you are in a rare category indeed, Grant. When that tape bursts across your chest by even just getting a first draft done, we're not talking about editing and polishing it, but just figuring out how to get to the finish line. You're in rare company, dude. And there's a lot of people here, and I can't think of a single person I've talked to so far, and I'm about to talk to, who hasn't done it. And that's why the Nevermorians, or the Clevermorians on Tuesday nights, are a rare breed. And now you're one of them, Grant, and we're glad to have you, seriously. And Carl Witzman agrees with me. Great, Grant. Yeah. And that's awesome, Grant, says Sarah. And Carl and Sarah have created projects this year too. You have no idea how proud of you guys. You really don't. And it's free, guys. I'm not even asking anything from you guys. No, and that's it. Isn't it nice just to share the joy of completion? Isn't it great? And look, you got a couple responses already. A couple attaboys, Grant. I mean, that, you got to have your soul's got to be absent if you just, if that doesn't give you at least a little tingle or two. And Gospel Illusion Shake Lindsay says, what do you call a dog with one eye, one leg, and half a body? His name is Lucky. Gosh. Send your letters of protest for animal cruelty to Jake Lindsay and HR will be wanting to talk to you, Jake. And Teresa Dunn goes, I'm all alone in the house. What should I do? Oh, yeah, I'm the wrong person to ask, Teresa. You know what I'd have you do, but that's probably not advisable. I'm the wrong. You don't talk to my inner 10-year-old like that. But anyway, Grant Lanker, that's a dark one, Jakey. Yeah. And OMG, I want a free one. How do I find that? I can tip. Well, if you want to tip, it's paypal.me/Rising Tide BKM. We do have a tip jar and showtime. Yes, and half an hour into the show, I'm finally getting to the point where I show up. And Joe Dog McKeel says, I am such an evil person. Yes, but Joe Dog, we love you for that, for a reason. We worship you as like unto a god. And anyway, please check out Stupid O'Clock. Last night's show was incredible. That was so much fun with Nick Tockert. I think you'll be able to feel, when we finally have a HoloCon for real. Am I still invited, by the way? I do want to show up, because I'm having so much fun on just watching from the stands on Stupid O'Clock, which, by the way, 11 p.m. tomorrow Eastern time, Stupid O'Clock will have their late night show. Please check it out. It is a fun show. A lot of great conversation. And Carl Witzman mocks Joe Dog with the laughter. And Sarah, grab the popcorn. And Grant, get the Pepsi. You got that right. And that's why we love you, Joe Dog. See, Carly agrees with me, so I must be right. And there he is. Good Friday morning to you all. PlasmaFireGraphics.com. Jeffrey Hayes is the man behind that incredible business there. And it's a passion of his, and it shows. You've seen the trailers that we've been running. In fact, here's one. He did this one for me. In fact, he did the one you saw earlier, but this one is, they're all good. Well, here, I'll give you a couple of examples.
From author Brian K. Morris comes a tale of irreverent holiday horror, told with much inappropriate humor. Dr. Victor Frankenstein creates the spirit of giving himself. Ho, ho, ho! Santa-Stein, or the post-holiday Prometheus. Available at Amazon.com. Get your copy today.
Available now on Amazon. Please pick up that book, Perfect Holiday Gift. Give the gift of laughter all year round with my book, Santa-Stein, the post-holiday Prometheus. And also have, if you're a creative type, have Jeffrey Hayes at Plasma Firegraph. Take a look at what do and let him do one of those videos for you. All right. So anyway, we got to get ready to catch up on your comments. So we're ready now. And Carl Witzman says, Joe unleashed nearly the full power of the Nick T upon his sedate little group last night. Woke them up good. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was a great show. And I realized I should hunt up my swords. I've got a couple of swords. I used to have a decent sword collection. I had a Knights of Pythia sword at one point. Somebody made me a good offer on it, though, so I got rid of it. And and I've got a couple things around the house that are pretty deadly. So I need to find those. I really do. But anyway, no, that was a great show last night, Joe Dog, as usual. And I can tell when it's an amazing show because I see Skunk. One of the guys that calls himself Skunk, he was grinning the whole time. I noticed he smiled a lot during my episode too. So anyway, please check out Stupid O'Clock last night on YouTube. That was such a good show. And as always, and yes, Carly says, Sarah, and Matt Shore. Good morning, sir. How are you? Last chance, everyone. Just a couple hours until the Monster Hunter Kickstarter ends. We've already reached our goal, so reserve your copy now. Check that out. That sounds so good. So check out the work of Matt Shore. Crazy talented guy. Really good. And Gospel Illusionist Jake Lindsay says, Joe Dog's not evil. He's just misunderstood. No, we understand him all too well, which is probably holding up the mirror to the darkness of our own souls, I'm glad to say. Grant Lankard says, the first issue of my newsletter will be out next week with an interview with Brian K. Morris and my review of the Argentinian masterpiece, The Eternaut. I love that title. That is cool. Grant, I'm looking forward to that. I seriously am. Grant has just started his newsletter. Please, if you have a Facebook direct messenger, send him your email address so that you can receive it too. Plus, it helps this guy build his mailing list. All right, which is sometime we're going to talk about that. That is gold. That is gold. And Matt Shore says also that was a killer Skyman promo. Thank you, Matt Shore. But that was done through PlasmaFireGraphics.com when the look of your book matters to you. And so it works for books. We are going to be also using their services on a couple of books that we have coming out, including the first draft Flash novel. So I'm looking forward to working with Jeffrey. And plus, Jeffrey Hayes of Plasma Fire Graphics is going to be appearing on Clever Tile Pending. Let me check. Tuesday, December 15th. And we've got some. I've been able to say this for a couple of months now, but we are booked up till the end of the year on the show on Clever Tile Pending. And thank you all for your support of that show. We're very proud of it. But this coming Tuesday, we're going to have the one, the only Ted Davies of Ted Davies Artistry. He's made. We had him on the show when we first converted it to early on when we converted it from just basically a nighttime version of Nevermind the Furthermore into its own beast, the interview show. And Ted was one of our first guests, and he's gone on to create such amazing content on his YouTube channel, which you all need to subscribe to. I'm serious about that. He needs to be up where I am. He needs to pass me up, actually. And then after that, on the 15th, anyway, that's this coming Tuesday. And then on the 15th, the Tuesday after that, will be Jeffrey Hayes. And then the next 2 Tuesdays, we're going to have theme nights, and we're going to close out the year with a couple of panels, and we're bringing back some of our old guests to help us out with those. And on the 22nd, we are going to re-explore the concept of imposter syndrome. It's like, why are all these people being nice to me? Why are people treating me like a celebrity when I know I'm not? See, And it's not false modesty. That's a completely different matter. But imposter syndrome is where you have accomplished something, but you wonder why you're getting the praise for it and the accolades and the perks for it when you see the guy behind the curtain when everyone else just sees the giant glowing head of at Oz. So anyway, we're going to explore that. And then on the last Tuesday of 2020, and thank God for that, on the 29th, we are going to have a special episode where we look back at 2020. How has our business changed? How have we changed in our creative process? What has changed for us personally in 2020? And what are we going to do moving forward? How are we going to make up ground for what we may have lost in 2020, or did we lose? See, that's what we're going to be talking about on the last Tuesday of the month. And we've got the shows booked, and we'll announce the guests pretty soon. I think you'll be excited by it. But anyway, thank you, Matt Shore. I love that. I love that. That graphic too. It makes me happy. And OMG, Robert Effin Rodriguez, the new episode of The Mandalorian is on fire. I have not seen a single episode. Although, now, Brian, I know you were like me. Reels and Heels, 2:15 Eastern time this coming Saturday. Check it out. But check out a channel, Binging with Babish. Babish, and it's my favorite cooking show right now on the on YouTube. But anyway, a recent episode this week is where he makes the little blue, Babish recreates the little blue cookies that the Baby Yoda ate and threw up towards the end of the episode. And they have Jon Favreau on as a guest, and you can see Babish fanboying. But it's a really, really good episode if you haven't caught it yet. So check it out. And if not, DM me, Brian. I'll send you a link to it. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Binging with Babish is a great show on YouTube. It's got several shows on there, like Basics with Babish about how to cook things. Binging with Babish is where he takes something from movies or TV and recreates it. Everything from the meat hurricane from Parks and Recreation to the steamed, or not, that was another show, steamed ham from the Simpsons, but things like the cookies from The Mandalorian that Baby Yoda ate, a whole bunch of great things like that. But he shows how to make them, and then he will show you also how to make them more easily or how to make them taste better. It's a great show. And then he has another one with a lady that used to be on the Bon Appetit channel, but got a little peeved when she realized that how she was being exploited by them, as did several of their other contributors. But anyway, she's got her own show where basically she is given the concept of a dish, such as a recent episode was Thanksgiving dinner, and then they spin a wheel to provide the complications. So she had to make a Thanksgiving meal, but put it in astronaut, something you could take up to the space station. Great episode. She's hilarious. She is so much fun. But anyway, check that out, Brian. Oh, trust me, Jake, says Carly. Carly, Joe Dogs must not misunderstood at all. No, we get him. We do get him, and that's why we think the world of him. And Grant Lankard, I need to turn off the music I was listening to while I wait for the show to start. I've been re-listening to the Prince albums. I didn't like when they came out, and finding a few hidden gems. Grant, yeah. That's the thing. I think we were discussing the other day Frank Zappa, and I didn't get to tell the story. I got Frank Zappa, the first two albums of the Mothers of Invention, Freak Out and Absolutely Free. I found, I'd seen an episode of a show called The Monkees, which is another group that kind of misunderstood at the time, but now people are looking back going, hey, they produce some really amazing music. They're really good musicians and creators. And as part of one thing in the second season of The Monkees, the individual members brought on people that they either worked with or liked. For instance, Davy Jones was writing music with the guy that would go on to write The Wiz, Broadway show and movie. And Mike Nesmith brought on Frank Zappa, which was kind of unique because, here is a guy who clearly has rock and roll mix, but real strong country and Western roots. And here's this guy that does dissonance and jazz and Mike thinks you need to pay attention to him. And I liked the episode, and I liked that little snippet of music they had of Mother People from their third album. And so I went to Kmart, my local Kmart, and they had both Frank Zappa albums there, and I picked them up, and I took them home, and I absolutely hated them. I mean, they were terrible, in my opinion. And so I gave them to a friend who gave them back to me. And then I gave them to another friend who gave them back to me. And I gave them to a couple of adults who gave them back to me. And even my mom was listening, and she had good taste in music. And she's like, "This is why does Nesmith like this guy?" And the thing was, I finally started listening. And it was during a portion, it was kind of like this collage of music. And part of it was like about 12 bars of a Beach Boys parody. Of one of their songs. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's kind of funny. Wait a minute. He's making fun of this stuff. And then I went back and listened to both albums and realized this guy is using rock and roll in a humorous way. Not Weird Al kind of way, but more or less he's making a point, like folk music was doing at the time. Like Bob Dylan or the Kingston Trio or the Chad Mitchell Trio. And they were making points with the music, but Zappa was doing it with stuff that I was totally unfamiliar with. And it wasn't until later I recognized the dissonance from Edgar Varese and I can't stand, even to this day, I've listened to Edgar Varese. I can't stand Edgar Varese because it's too much dissonance, but Zappa knew when to draw it back. And I realized that he was using this for parody and social commentary. And from that point on, I became a fan. And suddenly everybody's like, "Can I borrow your Zappa albums?" I'm like, "Nope, I'm not letting these go. These are mine. I love them." But nice. And, that's why I want to see the Alex Winter special on Zappa. But it took me probably a good 6 months to get into Zappa. And in fact, I will tell you, at first, I didn't like Elvis Presley. I'm now a huge fan of it. I'm now a huge fan of Elvis, the king. I know now why he's the king. And and as far as I'm concerned, the Beatles are the greatest musical unit ever. But at first, even up through She Loves You, I'd heard like Please Please Me, and I thought, ugh, this is terrible. And then I listened to She Loves You, and I still couldn't get the appeal. But it took me like up to their second American album, and I started to understand them. And now I am a total devotee of the Beatles, alone or together. And well, here's somebody we love talking to, HWWS Web TV. Good morning, Brian. Happy Friday. Hey, glad to see you. Haven't talked to you lately. I hope you're doing well. Check out the programming on HWWS Web TV. There is some great content on there, and they put out a lot of stuff regularly. They are super. And in fact, they had the CyberCon was the first virtual con I was aware of, and it was a great, great affair, and I was proud to be a tiny, tiny part of that. But anyway, check them out. They're also the group that Christian Basil hangs with to do this amazing show. Is all
This is the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Also catch us on the HWWS Web TV YouTube channel. Subscribe today and become part of the legend.
So hashtag become part of the legend. Join Christian Basil and his amazing panels as they discuss all things Who. And anyway, that's a part of that great HWWS Web TV family of broadcasts. Check out their content. They are fantastic. Good to talk to you guys and gals. And Eric Siebold, good morning to you. Good morning, Brian. Kelly has released her first book, Shattered, on Kindle Unlimited. Check that book out if you would, please. Eric, it's good to see you as always. Nick Tockert, the star of last night's Stupid O'Clock. It was so much fun watching you, brother. Good morning, Nevermorians. I am still bleary from last night's show with Joe Dog McKeel's Stupid O'Clock. Great bunch of folks. Hope everyone is doing amazing. Hope you are too. Nick, you were fantastic on there. I love hearing your expertise on swords, man. That is amazing. It's like you could talk swords like I can talk old comics, and I find that wonderful. And your enthusiasm is infectious. It is great. And there's Glenn B. Fleming, good friend Glenn B. Fleming. Glenn sent me a copy of his brand new publication. You do need to check it out. It's about comic books of the Golden Age. Great articles in there. I'm going to be writing a review for it on Amazon this weekend. And hey, Brian, I'm sorry, Glenn. We have a 7-second delay, and we take out all obscenities. Like, you know what I'm saying? The only we want to talk about is Bobby Nash's book, the Abraham Snow series. See, I can say it in a proper context, but when you start talking about that white that falls from the sky, Glenn, sorry, brother. I'm so sorry. Is there anything we can do to help you? We know you live on the other side of the world, but please, we will send prayers. It is there, and please send your prayers and your thoughts to Glenn B. Fleming. He's in the middle of a storm. All right, and I'm trembling, Glenn. I can't. Oh, the pressure. Anyway, Glenn, I'm glad you're here, brother. Hope you're having a good day so far, aside from that crap that's falling from the sky. And Grant says, Carlene, Grant, if you're listening to the Prince albums, you're listening to all Prince. He rarely let anyone play any instrument when he was recording. He was super talented. Yeah. After he passed away, I learned more about Prince than I did when he was alive, which is kind of sad in a way. But yeah, I read that he sent a demo, I think, of his second or third album to the record company, and the record company said, "Don't bother. It's great as it is." And a lot of demos are just sometimes it's just a guy and an instrument. And then the record company gets a yay or nay, and then they say, "Okay, let's develop these songs." But Prince turned in an album of demos, and the record company just said, "Okay, we're printing it. Print, cut, and print. We're done for the day." And then find out that I think he did the same thing with Stevie Nicks, and he wrote a song for her, and he just basically went in the studio and just said, "Okay, Stevie, I'll get to you in a minute," and he started playing all the parts to it, overdubbing it on itself, like a number of artists like Paul McCartney has done with his latest album. He's done like a couple albums where he's all the instruments on it. Because Paul McCartney can play a crap ton of instruments. Not just one of the greatest bass players of all time, but he's also a guitarist, keyboardist, drummer. In fact, he was the drummer for the Beatles, I found out recently, for a few months before they picked up Pete Best, and long before they picked up Ringo. But and Todd Rundgren, one of my favorite musicians ever, who if I had to pick one artist that I could get a complete set and take to a desert island to listen to forever, he would probably be the one. The Beatles would be right behind him. But yeah, he plays everything. And I have great respect. And Prince, turns out he was just like that too. Amazing guitarist. An amazing songwriter and singer, just did everything right. So anyway, yeah, that is, yeah, definitely, yeah, Prince, great musician, and the world is lesser for him not being here. And Kelly Austin, mwah, good to see you, darling. And you were wonderful. You were wonderful on Clever Title Pending on Wednesday night, the special edition for Pulp Reality. Check out Pulp Reality #1, Pulp, bit.ly/PulpReal01. That's our bit.ly address. Check it out on Amazon. You will be knocked out by the great assemblage of talent, including the wonderful and delightful Kelly Austin. And good morning, everyone. Salutations to you, Brian. Mwah, this raining and distressing day. Just wanted to say again, a great thanks for having me on your show the other night. I had a great time interacting with you and the other guests, along with all the wonderful fans of the new Pulp community. Everyone, including those fans, are super awesome, and I'm glad to be a part of this fine community. Hope you will have me back in the near future. Just a shameless plug. Pulp Reality makes a fantastic Christmas gift. Yes, it does, Kelly Austin. And Kelly, you were a delight. And then Kelly and I had been talking leading up to it, and I was, I knew she was one of us. Yeah, just like the thing, one of us. But Kelly is an amazing lady, and the thing is, she suffered a personal injury, but she showed up anyway. and of course I was trying to pass it off that, Charles F. Milhouse is a tough editor. She missed an Oxford comma. Look, he laid into her. It's not the PC thing to say these days, but anyway, no, Kelly, you were fantastic. You were amazing, and you are amazing, and definitely you're coming back to the show. You have my word on it. Yeah, it was a fantastic time. And I think it was Bobby Nash in our after show. See, we don't, Joe Dog McKeel has an after show and lets everyone in. Our after shows for Clever Title Pending, we just let our hair down and we let all the slander fly. And, it's a chance to unwind from, shows like this take a little bit of concentration from everyone's part. And thank you to the Nevermorians, had a great comment lines going. And yes, it was one of the roughest ones I've ever had to do because I'm trying to keep track of the conversation that we're having and keep track of your conversation. Excuse me. Hitting the mute button just in time. Anyway, you don't need to hear me sneeze. But anyway, but no, Kelly, you were fantastic. And you will be back on. Trust me, once you're healed up a little bit. Kelly had injured herself at home, but she came on anyway. And that's a trooper. I've again, it's part of that lazy ass syndrome where, I can't do this. My TV show's on tonight. And I've got like a TV show every waking hour of the day, or I can't do this because of this lame excuse. She had an injury. It was a visible injury. And I saw that and my heart broke for her. But no, we've been talking leading up to it, and I knew this gal was one of us. And Kelly, we are so proud to have you in our community. You improve it by your presence, and thank you for your kind words. I do appreciate that, and thank you for being on the show. You were amazing. So check out last Wednesday's special edition of Clever Tile Pending. Go to YouTube and look it up because the sound and picture are going to be better there. And we had a lot of fun. And like I said, Bobby Nash pointed out that some of the better episodes are just basically us cutting up. And we've been having a lot of those lately where I am just like absolutely worn out from laughter, not just just trying to play director on the show, but from laughing and having a great time. And Kelly, you were a great part of that, so thank you for being there, and thank you for being back. I love you, darling. And I'm eating chicken parmesan with mozzarella sticks, says Jake Lindsay. Well, you're young enough you can ignore your cholesterol. And Grant Lankard says Prince was the best. I'm wondering what Brian thinks of Prince since he reminds me of Zappa, personality wise, not musically. I'm a huge admirer of Prince. I don't own many albums. I think, of course, like everybody, I own a copy of Purple Rain. I've got somewhere downstairs on vinyl. But I love his music. I really do. And Bat Dance is fantastic. I love Bat Dance. That is just such a cool video on so many levels. And of course, I love the movie Purple Rain. I saw it when it was in the theater and was just really knocked out. I wish Prince had done more acting. I really do. I know to me, he was what Michael Jackson wanted to be. Michael Jackson wanted to be an all media entertainer. But for whatever reason, he never quite succeeded in film where he conquered video. And he never did much TV. Of course, this was at a time when you were seen as if you could do a movie, you didn't do TV unless you're promoting something, because that was a step down. It's not like it is now, where I think that line has become sufficiently blurred. But no, I think Prince was a genius. I really do. And he was still doing original music well into an age when everybody has the same stinking formula on top 40 radio or on contemporary radio. I mean, so to me, especially somebody who has been listening to music since the late 1950s, today's output, I'd say 75% of what I hear now is so formulaic. It is boring as hell to me. And that's why, I have a couple playlists on my YouTube channels, which you're all encouraged to check out because I've got some really fun stuff on there. But it's everything from the 50s on up to about, very little from today. There are some artists I do appreciate from today, but not a lot of them. After about 1995, my interest in contemporary music starts to wane a little. I just recently rediscovered a lot of 90s stuff I liked. I put that on. There are some people I do like Tessa Violet. She does a little bit that's in that same formula as a lot of modern hits, but she has such a wonderful new twist on it that I do like Tessa Violet. And I like some musical groups. I just discovered, I don't know how I ignored them, the Ting Tings. I love the Ting Tings. I wish they would do more. You know, the Cranberries, discovered some really good rock and stuff from them. But anyway, but yeah, I do like Prince. I put him up there as far as musical versatility, up there with Zappa or Rundgren or McCartney, any of the giants. I really do. And Joe Dog McKeel says Rudolph the Red was a great Viking warrior who used weather to battle. He looked up one day and said, "It will rain soon." His wife questioned how he knew. He said, "Rudolph the Red knows rain, dear." Joe Dog has a 10 on the Cindy Kep scale. That is the highest praise I can come up with. That. Oh my God, I gotta remember that for Cookie. That is hilarious. That is funny. Well done. And Marco says Jake Lindsay, and Polo says Joe Dog McKeel. And apparently a game is going on while I'm trying to catch up here. And I have a magician that's willing to buy my Halloween magic. Well, good for you, Jake. And maybe you could take that money and parlay that into more sophisticated stuff. Who knows? And there she is, the one, the only Michaela Jade, author Michaela Jade, who's got all kinds of cool stuff coming up in the first, between now and the first quarter of 2021. I'm so excited for this gal. She is amazing. Check out her Warrior Secret currently on Amazon, and she's got some new books coming out that you're going to love. I guarantee it. Joe Dog McKeel says, I gave up the after show around 1 a.m. and Nick was still in high gear. By the way, he was caffeine free last night. Oh dear God. And that's him without caffeine. I saw that he wasn't using the rocket fuel last night, and I'm like, man, what? You must be pulling up energy from your toenails. And it's like, yeah, it's like I said, Nick Tockert, I yield to his energy. He makes me look like I'm on sedation or something. So, and I'm caffeinated. In fact, we had our entrepreneurs meeting. We have a group of people, business people that meet once a month. Now we're going to meet twice this month because we put off the November meeting. This was today's, but we get together once a month on the third Friday of the month. And if any of you are in the Lafayette area around that time, let me know. You're invited, because we can always use some new voices. But we get together and we trade best practices. This morning I came up with like a page of notes. See, like begin with the end in mind when you start a project, and you took command of the yoke, and at the end, was it worth it? And this is a great note from the leader of the group, JB Farrell. The thought of doing this is what I think everyone should be doing for their own business, whether it's illusion or writing or publishing or music or what have you. The thought of doing anything else exhausts me. How's that for the quote of the day? So anyway, I can see where you tap out after a certain point, Joe Dog. But anyway, Joe Dog, I love Stupid O'Clock, love your panel, love you guys. I really need to be more involved in that show sometime. But anyway, it was such a fun show. Please check it out from last night if you haven't already. And if you want to get a fresh episode, check out 11 o'clock this coming Saturday on YouTube and on Facebook. And Philip Thompson, good morning. Ever used readers' favorite for book reviews? No, I don't. I think that's a pay site. And I think, I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, Philip. But no, I've never had. I prefer to get organic reviews. Like, I will ask for reviews. And by the way, if any of you have ever read any of my books, I would appreciate it if you would go to Amazon and leave me a review. For the same reason that I encourage you to like this video when you're watching, to subscribe to my YouTube channel, to subscribe to the Facebook page that you're watching it on, whether it's Rising Tide Publications or Indie Event, or if you're on YouTube watching us on Geek Insider, please subscribe because it helps. Same with book reviews, but I prefer to get mine organically. There are things in the creativity biz I refuse to pay for. Reviews is a big one because paying for reviews will bite you in the butt really bad. And because it is hard, it's more difficult now to leave reviews than ever, unfortunately. And because for the reason that Amazon has had a whole lot of people trying to game the system and and they have paid for reviews. Suddenly you have like 3 reviews, the next day you have 25,000. Gee, could something be amiss? So, that's just me. But if it works for you, Philip, I say run with it, brother. And you won't really know until you try it. And Bill Sarton, good morning, everyone. Count your blessings while you can. Bill Sarton on Facebook. I agree with you completely, sir. Every day can be good. Every day should be Good Friday, and especially coming out of Thanksgiving, where we are reminded to think of the things we have going for us. And that will be part of our final Tuesday episode of Nevermind, or of Clever Title Penning. We're going to take a look back at 2020. See what's changed with us and the way we do our business. And then we're going to look forward to 2021, and we're going to talk about all the things we are doing to set up our 2021 for total success. And we hope everyone will join us for that one, because if you've got any sort of business or any sort of personal desire to get out of the Jumanji LARP that we're in, and get to a better spot in their life, this might be the episode for you. Anyway, Michaela Jane says, now I'm over here. Peekaboo. Oh, we're looking for you, darn, on YouTube. Thank you for being there. And sorry about that, Brian. I forgot about where I was and was just chatting away dirty stuff to Sarah. Yeah, that was funny, and I'm leaving it up there, too. So it's in your name forever. And Michaela. And Sarah sends love to Michaela. Hey there, Michaela. And hashtag bring cookie home. Thank you, Bill Sarton. That is still our goal with our business, and it hasn't changed. And if you want the filthy stuff, come by tonight, definitely, because check out Uncle Carl's Green Room. Oh no, tonight is the regular show, isn't it? Anyway, if you're a part of Uncle Carl's secret humor page, which is not a very well kept secret, it's about as secret as Clark Kent's secret identity these days. But anyway, if you're reading comics, you should be laughing. Anyway, tonight is Uncle Carl's drunken rant with Aunt Donna. And it will be a lot of fun because Uncle Carl and Aunt Donna are fun people. I love them dearly. They are so wonderful. And so is their show. So if you're part of that page, please tune in tonight. If you're not part of that page, contact Carl Witzman or myself or anyone who's on that page. And if you have a good sense of humor, if you aren't there to sell your crap, and if I'm putting that as one of the things now, it's going to save you a lot of trouble, Carl. Because if you think you're going to get on there and put in your Kickstarter links, that ain't happening. Or it will happen only once, never again. You will not be allowed to. Or if you are in any way offendable, because we are offensive as hell on there. This is the stuff that will cancel us in a heartbeat. So anyway, if you want to be a part of that conversation, get it with Carl or myself or Donna Carlene on Facebook, and they'll sign you up. So anyway, Alexa, behave. Oh my God, I got to do that in front of Cookies, Alexa. Thank God she took it out of here. Joe D. McPhee, morning, Brian. Thanks for the follow on Instagram. Joe D. McPhee, when they said you were on there, brother, I had to follow you, and thank you for following me back. Appreciate that. And, and by the way, we don't talk about much, but we are on Instagram. We don't do a lot on there, but we are on there, and we do put out things occasionally. I'm on there as Brian K. Morris. Okay. Everything is Brian. If you want to find me, just put Brian K. Morris, because otherwise I would never remember it. Right now, I'm finding like my old websites that I don't go to often. I'm writing down my password because I don't remember otherwise. But anyway, Jody, I'm so glad to see you there, man. I had to follow you, man. I had no choice. So anyway, Green Room tonight, asks Sarah. And Gospel Lucia Shake Lindsay says, and I think I'm the crazy one. You aren't even close in this crowd, brother. And from YouTube, Teresa Dunn says, I am motivated today. Have a lot of promoting to do. Yes, and her book is doing well. She's been telling me about her sales. I think her sales are probably way ahead. Correct me if I'm wrong, Teresa, but her sales are way ahead right now of where she was when she did her first book. So check out Poetry Expressions 2 on Amazon. Give that some love. And Sarah wonders, is it the Green Room or the Drunken Rant? I think it's the Drunken Rant. And Joe, wow, I was so tired I didn't even attempt the after show. I think I tuned in for about 5 minutes. And then I realized I had an early morning meeting and I had to go to bed, but I will probably check it out later today for fun. But because Stupid O'Clock is a fun show. I love it. You definitely have to watch last night when Nick was on. He is a ball of fire. I love you, Nick. I really do. And good for you, Teresa. See, I correct your spelling. Or God for you, Teresa. Either way, it works. And we're all crazy here, Jake says Sarah, who can speak with authority on this subject. And we all float down here. And good morning, Nevermorians. Rick Bradley, good to see you. And yes, I'm way behind on the comments because that's because you guys have such great comments and we got to talk about it. And that's great, Teresa, says Michaela Jade. And we all agree. And there's our guy, a Rose Friday morning sponsor. Let me start that again. Hold on a second here. Let me do you justice here, Christian. Hold on a second here. Let's get the proper. All right. Now we're fueled. Here we go. Both hands. Arise, Friday Morris monster, arise! Nevermorians, reach into thy own changed purses. Reach deep, deeper, deeper. Reach deep and put coin down for this endeavor. Make Cookie happy. You want to make Cookie happy. Brian needs to give the rub to make Cookie happy. Hashtag bring Cookie home. Hashtag bring Cookie food. You've never met her, Christian, and you know her so well. This is amazing. Yeah. Yes. And by the way, for those of you who wonder, Cookie did sustain a self-inflicted injury a few weeks ago. The groin muscle, one of her groin muscles, got turned the wrong way, but she has not missed a day of work. I'm proud of her. She has not missed a day of work, but part of this is I am helping. I've gotten good at therapeutic massage. We have been doing some work on that, and she has been getting at least a massage every twice a day. Today she's going to get 3 because she attended the meeting this morning. But she is still moving. And in fact, last night, I think it was, she came home and, the doctors give you this scale of 1 to 10, what's your pain? And you should be on 1. 1 means you're fine. You don't have any pain. It's maybe not even an ache. 3, you should start paying attention. 4, you definitely need some help. She's been going to work with it at a 6 or a 7. And by the way, 10, as our doctor explained to us, if you're a 10, you should be unconscious because you've passed your pain threshold. But she's been going to work with a 6 or a 10 and not missed a day of work. But between the therapies that we've been doing at home, a couple doctor visits, she came home last night or the night before with a 3. After working all day, and I'm so proud of that gal. So yeah, definitely make Cookie happy. Buy some books, or go to our brand new merchandise line and show your love for the Nevermorians. How's that, huh? Anyway, I wore that to the entrepreneurs meeting this morning. Everyone loved it, and everyone will love you too. And I'm saying there's a lot of good stuff on there. There's T-shirts. There's coffee cups in various colors, by the way. You can pick up various colors. If the light blue isn't your jam, then get a darker blue. We have a darker blue, a purple, and I believe a plain white. And it's not plain, it's beautiful. And they're dishwasher safe, by the way. The coffee cups are. But it's just a little nice thing to show your support for the Nevermorian community, I think. And some people have been asking us about, so we gave in. And they make lovely Christmas gifts. So if you know a Nevermorian, give them the gift of Nevermore. Anyway, and nice Teresa, says Sarah, and thank you, Christian Basil. We love you, brother. And hey, Sarah and Carl, says Michaela Jade, and the flirting begins, says Christian Basil. We got to start on you, brother. We got going before you got here. So you're playing catch up today, and probably mustard too. And I love crazy people. Well, Gospel Illusionist Jake Lindsay, you got your pick of them here. I'm telling you, you can't spit without hitting one. And Ted Davies Artistry, thank you, Brian, and everyone for tuning in yesterday to the cigar show. Carl and I appreciate you so much. Well, you guys put on a great show. And honestly, Ted and Carl, I think you guys, I don't want to see you guys stop doing the pre-recorded show. I think you need to consider a live show like you did yesterday. I really do. I'd love to see you do it because you guys have such great chemistry. The two of you bounce off each other so very well, and you put up with the crap that Christian and I put up on your screen. So that was good too. But no, and then you answered some questions I had, which was really cool, you guys, and I dug it the most. Anyway, we've got some cool people. Oh my gosh, Randy Zimmerman, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. We'll run your ad when we get to you. I promise. Oh man, we got so far behind because people were here a half hour before the show and putting in comments. Holy cats, we are, oh my god, we are terrible behind. Anyway, and it's gotten to the point where the service is saying, well, you're going to catch up now. Anyway, nope, that's what we want. Anyway, there we go. Grant, we apologize for people that we have skipped in this, but StreamYard's not letting me go back any further. I didn't know you did comic book reviews, Sarah. Where can I find them? I will totally let you review my comic book closer to when it comes out. Yeah, definitely. I'll do the same thing, Grant. And Sarah hugs, Jake hugs to all around. And Rick Radley says, I wish I had time to play video games. My time is split between work and family. I squeeze time to write when I can, but I usually do a lot on my phone when I get a moment. But at least you found a way to do it. And Da Ninja Genko, good to see you. How's it going, man? And being the tree above the clouds, I like that. That is poetic. I like that. I can read a lot into that, and it's all good. And he hasn't shown any Facebook comments. Well, that's the thing. I do. I just mentioned YouTube because I want y'all to go to YouTube and subscribe. Anyway, but no, it's a better picture there. I review them directly to the creator. Grant, maybe I should put them online. Sarah, seriously, you should. We can talk about that. That gives me some ideas. Joe D. McPhee, still working on pencils for pages of issue 7 of Amazonia. Close to having page 9 done. Keep working at it, Joe. Looking forward to the great results. Jake, that's because we were on here a lot earlier than the Facebook crowd, so it's going to take a while to get them in order. Oh, Sarah, says Grant Lankard, I'll message you about the comic book. Yeah, definitely. And Brian, I appreciate that enthusiastic telling of the awesomeness of creation and completion. Well, thank you, Nick. And I sincerely believe it. And the more I see it in this sort of thing about this deliberate heel dragging in the act of creation, the less patience I have with it. I don't want to mention names because I know they do watch this show, but I'm sorry, and I apologize to you if you know who you are. It's no one I've mentioned so far, okay? And but somebody basically came on, talked to me this week about a bunch of misconceptions about creation. Like, well, I don't have thousands of dollars to invest. Well, you don't need it. Well, I want to make money at it immediately. Well, forget about that. That's nuts. You should know by now this creation stuff is not self-sustaining sometimes. And I want you to study this person you have no interest in and tell me everything I need to be doing so I can be exactly like them. Well, you know what? Nevermind the Furthermore and Clever Title Pending. You know why they succeed? Because they aren't like other people. There's your clue. Anyway, I think you ought to take it as that. So, but anyway, glad you like it, Nick. I think we all need to be mindful of things like that and why you and I and everyone here are so freaking awesome. Seriously. Grant says, Kelly Austin, take it from me. You just did something incredible. Don't give up. Finishing something is the greatest feeling ever. Yeah, and there are so many great feelings involved in this, such as getting copies in your hands or seeing it online or getting a compliment or someone that says, you're my favorite writer. You're my favorite artist. You're my favorite creator. I love your show. And I mentioned this the other night. I had a dear friend of mine from Northern Indiana. He's a cosplayer, great guy. And we've known each other for a few years. And his 8-year-old daughter, this is about 2 years ago, his 8-year-old daughter decided she wanted to start reading comic books and start collecting. And after talking about it, he brought her to a convention I was at and said, we've discussed it. We want your comic to be my daughter's very first comic. How can your heart not break gladly when you hear that? You know, there is a play called Title of Show, and there's a song in there, and I can't remember the exact title right now, but it's to the extent of, I would rather be 8 people's number 1 actor than 100 people's 8th favorite. You know, there's a lot of little intangible rewards, but they're every bit as every bit, if not more, better than that. And sounds good, Grant. Seriously, sounds good. And okay, Sarah, I'm new to technology. And Joe Dog, you are awesome, says Nick Tuckert. And he's right. And it's okay, Jake. Just thought I'd let you know how it goes. We're able to start earlier on YouTube. And good morning, everyone. Denisha Genko, good morning to you. Glad to see you here from YouTube. It's a pleasure to have you here as always. And I was here at 2 a.m. last night, says Gospel Illusionist Jake Lindsay. I was asleep, I was glad to say. And hey to Ninja from Sarah. And hey Ninja, says Grant Lanker. See, you are part of the community, the Ninja. Glad to have you here. And hey Sarah. And the Ninja now turns around and mocks us with his laughter and collector swords. Oh yeah. And Jake Lindsay says the only weapon I need is my charm. I've tried to use my charm as a weapon. It's a blunted instrument, if you know what I mean. And hello Ninja from Christian Basil. Nick Talker says, seriously, Stupid O'Clock was an awesome marathon for me. The show, the after show, the secret after show, then the after show where I was with Dan L. Hollifield, who's a great guy. Talking till 3:30, shame I couldn't have caffeine for it all. Oh, man. Yeah, but with that group, you don't need it. You don't need it because they have their own energy. That was such a good show. You were fantastic, Nick. Seriously. And the Eric Hawkins says, morning, people. Eric, caught you a little bit on the drawing show last night on Chester's show, I think it was. Anyway, check out the work of Eric Hawkins. He is amazing. He is great. Anyway, and the Ninja Gecko, hey, Christian, and morning, everyone. And hey, Sarah, here's a joke. The virus. I don't want to hear the punchline. Anyway, hello, the Eric, and what joke? And New Mando is up. Guess I know where I'm going after the show. And excuse me for a minute, COD calls. Oh, okay. Cash on delivery? And the virus is the joke. A lot of people ain't laughing, Jake. And Carl Wisman says, my weapon is sarcasm. Might want to back up a little there. And Ninja Gecko agrees, probably. Brian, catch up on the new Mando has posted. Oh, okay. Oh, and I got a good face shave today. It feels so good and nice, says the Ninja. And what's the joke about the virus? Are you mentioning COVID? I'm confused. And Phil Thompson, every user. Okay, we've already covered that. And Jake Lindsay says, Sarah, basically, I said, here's a joke. Then I said the virus, meaning it's a joke. And you know, Jake, when you have to explain the joke to people, I think you need to drop that from your routine. Seriously. I think this qualifies as too soon. And Carl Westman, nice women might like a clean shave, but the bad girls love a beard. Oh, that's true. That's true. And Grant Lankert, the monkeys were cooler than people remember. Sex Pistols version of I'm Not Your Stepping Stone is awesome. Yeah, seriously. And you know, the thing is, there was a group called oh gosh, God, I hate it when I'm like I'm trying to concentrate on so many things and doing the show. I blank out on names. There was a group in the 70s that did a cover of I'm a Believer, and it's a hard rock version. They did a song called The Girl of My Dreams. Hold on a second here. I'm going to look that up. That bothers me enough that I'm going to look it up. The Girl of My Dreams. Song. It's not by Juice WRLD. Let's see. It's not Rod Wave. Oh God, it's not. Definitely not that. It's not Perry Como or Chris Brown. Brandon Heath. Hold on here. Let's see if this will do it. Not Diane Benet. Dang it. Girl of My Dreams. Maybe there's a disambiguation of it. No, that's not it. I'm not getting it. I will try to find that song. It's not the Moffats. I want to say it was like they had the name Beethoven in their name. I could be wrong. Let's see, videos. Let's try this. And I know this is fascinating TV, but it's not the Jaguars. It's not Hall & Oates, Beethoven 5. No, it's not Electric Cello. It's not the Eurythmics. You're the Girl of My Dream song. Let's see, hold on. It's not Brandon Heath. It's not any of these losers. It's not Chris Alt. Oh gosh. Hold on a second here. I'm a believer. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna find this. This is annoying me now. I'm gonna see if it's not Smash. Let's see, not that, not that, not that, not that, not that. Let's see. Let's see if we can find a disambiguation for that. This is really annoying me now, and you know this is bad. And it's the Neil Diamond song. I'm a believer. Okay, hold on a second. We are getting closer. Thank you, Wikipedia, and other versions. That's what we want. It's not Vic Reeves and Rick Mortimer. It's not Weezer. It's not Jojo Rabbit. It's not it's not that one. God, I'll try to find that later. But yeah, that's annoying me now. But anyway, yeah, the Monkees. I love the Monkees. I loved them at the time, and they're even more awesome now. And Carl Witzman agrees with that. And Jeffrey Hayes says, "OMG, I am old if Brian has to explain who the Monkees are." Yeah, seriously. The Prefab Four. Anyway, Brian saw my full beard. It was huge. What? I've seen you. I've seen you with a partial beard, but you're no Brian. You're no Brian Rodman or Jeremy Woodring. And hey, Mr. Hayes, gorgeous work you do. Seriously. Plasma Fire graphics. When the look of your book matters to you. And Teresa Dunn says Frank Zappa was a genuine genius. Seriously. And KTLA, a great radio station, says to Ninja Genko. Brian Wensloff says, if you could live in the Star Wars universe, what do you think you would be doing? Like your occupation. I'd probably be like the guy that had to milk whatever animal for that baby, that robin's egg colored milk. Grant, I hope you catch the bug of creating more comics after this book. Definitely. And thank you, Sarah. You are too kind. Oh, seriously, you are crazy talented, Jeff Hayes. You really are. There are 14 watching and only 9 likes on YouTube. Get to those who haven't done so. The Dark Mistress of the Church of the Rising, the Dark Church of the Rising Tide, has spoken, and her word is now law. And you're welcome, Jeff. Mind-blowing talent. Yeah, Sarah, you have no idea. When I talk to my friends, like Bobby Nash and Jim Beard and John Bruning the other night, and I say, yeah, Jeffrey Hayes did oh my God. Or they look at it and they say, did Jeff do that? Yeah. And the Ninja Genko mocks us with his laughter, and that's welcome. We welcome your mockery. And I'd rather listen to the Newsboys. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, dear God. Do I have to screen this one, too? What do you call a cow with no legs? Nothing. It won't come to you. That's terrible. No, my brother, you got to get your own. Okay, will do. And Mars Volta 4 me. All right. Okay. Mars Volta 4, don't sell till it reaches 6, though. Anyway, Grant Lankert, that's interesting what you're saying about the mix of dissonance and melody. My hero is Bowie, and he got the mix of dissonance and melody almost perfect, at least on some albums. Yeah, he was fantastic at it. Todd Rundgren's done a little, too. I'm a huge Rundgren fan. But Zappa was a master at it. And like I said, I've listened to Edgar Varese, from whom Zappa learned about dissonance. And I find, even now, Varese, even after knowing about him for almost half a century, I find him unlistenable. I really do. That is just too much dissonance for me. To me, that's noise. But then I'm not really trained to think in those terms. Whereas somebody like Zappa can listen to that and think, okay, I get it. That's awesome. I get it. So, yeah. So, it is different strokes. And one of my favorite albums, 50 Words for, by Kate Bush. Kate Bush is amazing. I love Kate Bush. And I see she's still working. I love that. That is fantastic. I love seeing a lot of these 80s artists like them, Midge Ure. I'm a huge Midge Ure fan. Love Ultravox. Both incarnations. So Glenn Fleming's an Ultravox fan. He's like, aha, he knows who John Fox is. I love John Fox and the Masks too. Anyway, a lot of those British 80s synthesizers group, I get those. Joe Dog McKeel says the original Boston album was their demo. That's right. What has, I think, only recently come out was their guitarist was basically every instrument on that, and it was just him and Brad Delp doing the vocals. Yeah, that was one of the first albums I ever bought where, up until then, except for the Beatles, or maybe the Rolling Stones at that time, or Todd Rundgren, there was always like one or two songs that's like, why is that on the album? that's just obviously they needed space to fill. That was one of the first albums I bought that wasn't one of those main ones where every cut was golden. Seriously. And Sweet had a couple. I was a big Sweet fan back in the day. So yeah, Boston though, that and what is that that one instrumental they do, OMG, and I've heard them perform it live on YouTube, and it's still powerful. I can't remember the name of. I want to call it Rock Overture, but I know that's not it. But you probably know the one I'm talking about. I love that song. Rick Bradley says, "Come check out his author page on R Bradley 42 on Facebook. Hope to see you there because he posts some funny things and updates to his upcoming projects. And also check out that website, authorrickbradley.com. And I'm trying to catch up to your comments. And have you ever listened to Mars Volta, The Practice in Satellite? No, but I'm always into new music, and I always check this stuff out. Sarah's been giving me some great songs I've really fallen in love with. So Mars Volta, I'm writing this down. I will check this out today. The Practice in Satellite. Okay, cool. Practice in Satellite. Thank you. Seriously, thank you for that. I love new music. I love making new discoveries. And Rick Bradley, ready for some adventure? Let Stormgate Press take you from the depths of the ocean to the far reaches of space in Pulp Reality #1. Check that out on Amazon, available for sale right now, and the e-version will be coming out soon. And I have a story in there. If you like pirates, if you like robots, check out my Clockwork Pirate story featuring Captain Hawkland. I think you'll dig it. Kelly says Sarah is a wonderful person to hear and laugh with. I was paying attention despite the YouTube converse, I swear. Yeah, that was a fun show for me because it was a challenge, Sarah, because you guys were on fire with your comments, which had nothing to do with what we were talking about on the screen. And thank you for the compliments, Sarah. I meant to thank you for that. Because Sarah was like, Brian's keeping up on this stuff. He's amazing. So I'm like, well, I guess so. But thank you, Sarah. I love you. I love the out of you. I really do. Jake Lindsay, the Nevermorians are undefeated, but not me. I run a lot. Well, we won our last. Most of us have won our last fights by 500 yards. Christian Basil, I caress that like button every time I come, Sarah. I caress it gently until it lights up with ecstasy. I should have stopped reading with that first one. First sentence there. Ooh, nice, Christian. Wow. And Brian Wesloff says, thoughts on WB releasing all 17 films in 2021 on HBO Max and theaters same day? Godzilla vs. Kong, Dune, Matrix, Tom and Jerry, and Wonder Woman. And this year, Wonder Woman 84. I never got to see numbers 2 through 83, though. Brian, how did I miss those? Anyway, I'm for it. And this may be the way we get through because this helps the theaters. I still think they need to revise how they split the profits because that's what's really hurting a lot of theaters. The greed of the studios. But if we want to keep having that big screen experience, and there are some people like me that just don't go to theaters anymore for various reasons. And, one thing is I can't sit through, I'm elderly, I got to go to the bathroom a lot and I got to do an Amy Hale. And so I can't sit there. There are a lot of movies I've had to get up in the middle of and, walk out. Although with Hollywoodland, I should have gotten up and kept walking out that front door instead of going to the men's room and coming back. That was one of the most abominable movies I've ever seen in my life, except for Ben Affleck and Diane Lane. I would love their part. The rest of it, Adrian Brody, was absolute garbage, and I'll go on the record of saying that. But anyway, I'm for it because it basically the theater system is over a century old. And we need to find a new way. It's a new world. Digital is coming. You can say, I only like it if it's in my hand. I only like it if it's on the big screen. Well, guess what, dinosaur? Get out of the way. All right. I mean, I'm 64 and I'm embracing it. I'm kissing it on the lips. If that's the way people want their entertainment, it's up to us as creators and as distributors to see the people get it their way. And it's like Stephen Moffat said about 10 years ago when he was the showrunner for Doctor Who. And people were saying, well, look at the numbers. They're down. He's obviously failing the show, but they weren't taking into account the BBC's later figures on who was picking up like on DVR, Doctor Who on DVR and watching it later in the week. And those numbers were strong and growing. And Stephen had a good comment about, a great, profound comment about what kind of arrogance do we have as creators where we are dictating how people get their entertainment. It should be up to the people, and it's our responsibility to see they get it the way they like it. And words to that effect. And I really believe that. So anyway, Die Hard is a Christmas movie, says Jake Lindsay. I agree. And so is The Long Kiss Goodnight. If you haven't seen that with Gina Davis and Samuel L. Jackson, you are depriving yourselves of one of life's great glories. Anyway, Christian Basil says, mwah, right back at you, Sarah. I love true love. And chainsaws? Check. Ancient Evil? Check. A touch of nudity? Check. Okay, I'm there. Apple pie? Check. Order the introduction to Rick Bradley's Eden Falls trilogy, Marvin's Night, out right now on Amazon in paperback and digital formats from Rick Bradley. Check out his amazing book. That's so cool. And I watch Die Hard every December, as I think every right-thinking person should. How much better to get into the holidays than watching a man walk across broken glass in his bare feet. Nick Tockard says, before the mighty Manatee Man has to float off to the vet, let me remind you that Big Stumpy Robots makes for an explosive holiday, and the Simple Sword is there for your post-holiday fitness journey. Check out Nicholas Tockard, and also check him out tonight at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Central on the Historical Fencing Guild channel on YouTube, and you are in for a treat watching Nick Tockard for a couple hours talk about swordplay, talk about bladed weapons, and how to kill each other safely. Nick, love you, man. Seriously. And is it just me, or is there a smudge on the screen? No, maybe there's a smudge on you. And okay, says the Ninja Genko, we're glad you're here, Ninja. And I like a lot of underground music that most people here don't know about. I'm eclectic. Yeah. And Sarah, I check out when I go on your page. I definitely check out a lot of what you've got down there, and you've introduced me to a number of really cool original artists, and I dig that, and I thank you for it. Bill Sarton says, join the Far Out and Groovy Kids by clicking on Sarton76 on Facebook, the artwork of Bill Sarton for better days from yesteryear. Having done over 400 sketches in the last 5 years, I'm showing some of them which are available for purchase while I'm dealing with a personal nightmare. Keep us posted on that, okay? I greatly appreciate if you like the artwork of Bill Sarton, where everything old is new again. Yes, definitely. If you like a page on Facebook, give it a like. It just takes a couple seconds. It costs you nothing, and boy, howdy, does it help the people who own those pages. And sounds with light dashes, okay. And happy Friday from Cindy Kep. Glad to see you here. CKOEPP.com. Sign up for her free monthly newsletter. It is a blast. I love reading that thing. I really do. And we love you, Cindy. Check out her books, too, on Amazon. She is an amazing talent. Also, bearpublications.com. Grant Lankard says, you know what is not a good movie? Did you ever see Prince's follow-up to Purple Rain Under the Cherry Moon? Yowzers. Prince tries to do comedy. That's what you call it. Yeah, I agree. That was a terrible follow-up, and it did his acting career no favors. And this is why, you look at the Beatles. You know, they put themselves in the hands of Richard Lester, who directed Superman 2 and Superman 3. And they're technically good movies. They really are. Superman 2 in particular. But, then, the Beatles did A Hard Day's Night, a classic rock film that inspired the Monkees. And they did Help, which was actually a really good film, a bit more fictional than Hard Day's Night, but still a great movie and an amazing soundtrack. But then a couple of years later, without any supervision, they'd lost their manager, Brian Epstein. And so they were pretty much navigating life on their own. And they did a TV special called Magical Mystery Tour. The album is beautiful. The album is Beatles music, and great songs like Fool on the Hill and I Am the Walrus. Some classic Beatles songs, but the show itself is not wonderful. It's not horrible. It wasn't as bad as Under the Cherry Moon, but it just shows that some people do require direction, in my opinion. And, I still watch it. And plus it had some great, if nothing else, watch it for the Bonzo Dog Band. One of the members, Neil Innes, went on to a great solo career working with Eric Idle also. Neil Innes was in the films. He was in Life of Brian. He was the guy in the Coliseum who basically started running around until the gladiator had a heart attack and died. He was also, his classic appearance was as the minstrel for Sir Robin in the Monty Python and the Holy Grail. So that's Neil Innes. And he had one of the greatest introductions to a song where he started out with, "I've suffered for my art, and now it's your turn." Funny, and great music from the Bonzo Dog Band. Definitely recommended, especially the intro and the outro with Eric Clapton playing ukulele. And In the Canyons of Your Mind, which has the absolute deliberately worst guitar solo ever by Neil Innes. And hey, Mary Ellen Greenberg, mwah. Hey, Brian, got a couple minutes to say hi from Orlando. Well, lucky you, girlfriend. Hey, love to you and the family. Miss you, hun. Hope you all are doing well. And Cindy Kep says, faster than a speeding bullet. Kapow! Smash words with me. Thank you, darling. Thank you. And more powerful than a locomotive. That's me on Amazon. Also, check out Cindy Kep on Amazon. Get her books. They make great Christmas gifts. And yikes, never heard of the sequel, Grant. That's crazy. Yeah, it is. I think it was pretty self-indulgent was the problem. And that was the thing. I think, that was the one thing. Chuck Norris in his acting career, and Arnold Schwarzenegger, I mean, especially their early stuff, they stretched as performers in each show, but they never fell totally out of their comfort zone. They knew what made their shtick work. And I think Prince was getting a little too ahead of himself. And I think he needed a little more guidance. Unfortunately, some people do. And which movie do you like, The Illusionist or The Prestige? Jake, I've not seen either one. I need to catch up on both of them. And Prince was good at so many things. He must have just thought he could do anything, but he could not do comedy. I don't know. I saw him on a brief thing on the new Muppet Show from about 4 or 5 years ago, and he was hilarious on that. And he sold this one thing. It was him doing a song, of course, on the new Muppet Show, but it was a framework of him in this cafe. And he's, just having, or a coffee shop, and he's having like his latte and stuff and talking with everyone, and he's interacting with the Muppets and being a good foil for them. He really is. You've got to have strong comedy chops to be a straight man. You really do. And you knew the joke was coming, but he sold it. And at the end, they say, well, you've had your stuff. Well, what would you like for dessert, Prince? And he just got this little smile, and he started singing, "I want a raspberry sorbet." And you've been waiting from the minute he showed up on screen for that joke, but the payoff was great. I think he had the chops. I just don't think he picked the right vehicle for it. But Sharper Than a Two-Edged Sword, that is Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockard on Amazon. Get the simple sword if you want to learn all about sword play. Efficient sword play from an expert. Seriously. And the Ninja Gecko goes, my second pot of coffee. Mine too. And I'm slowly catching up, folks. Have faith in me. We'll get this going. YouTube. You have YouTube? The things you learn. Yes, I have a YouTube channel now, Marielle. It is Brian K. Morris, Rising Tide Publications. Do a search for my name or Rising Tide Publications, and please subscribe, Mary Ellen. I would love it to Mary Ellen. I think I called you Mary Ellen. I'm sorry. But Mary Ellen, please subscribe. I would love to have you there. We have over 400 subscribers. We'd love it if you were one of them. And everyone, if you have not subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate if you do. We are going to be putting up some original content. I keep planning it out and thinking I can do better. And that's what's holding me back. I tell people just do it, and then worry about getting good at it later. And I think I need to follow my own advice. And I'm in Polk City, not far from you, says Brian Wensloff. Uh-oh, Mary Ellen, look out. And faster than a speeding turtle. There she is, Cindy Kep. But what a talented turtle she is. Condemned Courier, all kinds of great stuff. And we are going to be running her spot at the end of the show, so please stay tuned for that. Joe Dog McHale says, opening line of a story I'm working. Oh, cool, and I agree, says Mary Ellen. Yes, it's cool. Joe Dog is cool. Check out Stupid O'Clock on Thursdays and Saturday nights. And check out his YouTube channels as well. And also, like I said, we have a YouTube channel. We are over 400 people strong. We have almost trebled the amount of people we had a month ago. And thank you to everyone who has signed up. We sincerely appreciate your being here, and we sincerely appreciate everyone's support on this. And speaking of support, there's our girl, Meredith Logren. Mwah! Good morning to you, darling. The wild one forever. check out wildoneforever.com. It's a great way to start your weekday. It really is. And Meredith is a wonderful lady, and she's responsible for our intro and outro here. And Meredith, I gotta send you some pictures because I recognize it's a copyright thing because we are going into 2021, and I want to get you busy. So I put that on my list of things to do this week. And by the way, I will be hopefully picking up my old laptop today. We have been doing the show for the last 2 weeks on my backup laptop, which has been a good thing because I've been able to upgrade my laptop here. But we are hopefully going to pick up the new one today. I'm excited by that. Bill Sarton says, my favorite video by the Ting Tings is Birthday that they sung on the kids show Yo Gabba Gabba. It's a fun song. Yes! I like that version better than the original. But they have a bunch of really clever videos. The great DJ, I think, is one of them. I love that song, and the video for that is fantastic. And plus I just haven't heard a thing by the Ting Tings I didn't like. They haven't recorded anything for several years, and I'm hoping they get back to it because they had a great sound, and she's not hard on the eyes, I'll tell you that right now. And Joe Dog McKeel, as she pressed the barrel of her late father's antique pistol, missing for over 15 years, to the head of the man she once loved, she stared into his eyes. That's a hell of a good start, Joe Dog. I'm liking it. And Sarah goes, Meredith, hashtag buttbeard. Joe Dog McKeel continues, the pressure on the trigger being ever so increasing, she knew that telltale bang to end his life was imminent. And Mary Ellen says, but Jumanji is fun. Jumanji is fun, Mary Ellen Greenberg, unless you're in the middle of the game. You know what I'm saying? I ain't Robin Williams. I ain't Kirsten Dunst. I ain't The Rock. I ain't any of those people. I want out. At the end of the year, what we're going to do, we may have a special New Year's episode. I haven't decided yet, but we may have a New Year's episode where at midnight in our respective time zones, we all yell Jumanji so the game ends. Anyway, what about Free Booksy? I've not really looked into Free Booksy yet. I would have to do some research on that. And good morning, Amy Hale. Mwah! Amy Hale, AuthorAmyHale.com, Author Amy Hale, and Amy Hale's Angels on Facebook. Check out her work. She's got some great work out there. I'm a fan. I'm a friend. And catch Nick Tucker tonight on the the Historical Fencing Guild's live stream. It's hysterical. You will love it. He's fantastic. And Cindy Kep says, if you were on the right Patreon accounts, you could have seen Brian's new merch first. That's right. Nick's newly received toy. Shut up, Christian. S.L. Rowland's new book giveaway, Frozen Creek Studios' newest book trailer, and the League of Impossible's new art. Yes. Check us out on Patreon. And if, see, we have stuff. We have lots of stuff. And if you want a link to see what our merchandise is like, we have it in the description to this show, whether you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube. It's on both places. Please check it out. We're on Teespring. We've got a store. And if you see anything on there you like, order it, please. You'll get it in time for Christmas. And also, if you see anything else you like on there that we're not carrying, drop me a note on Facebook, and I will look to see if it's viable for us. We're probably not going to do leggings. And there's a whole bunch of apparel Cookie and I looked at, and we said, well, it's not quite for us. So, but anyway, check out also the work of Cindy Kep on Amazon. She is wonderful. And if you're wondering about our Patreon page, it bears repeating, patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. Everything I do is Brian K. Morris, because otherwise I'd never remember it. But anyway, for $1 a month, we'll get you a mention on this show and other shows we do. $5 a month will get you a subscription. That subscription will get that and a peek at our first draft flash novel that we're working on called Ebony Terror that we will change the title to. And there's a possibility you could get your name in that book too as a character. And here's a good man, Randy Zimmerman. Good morning. Drawing monkeys this morning and listening to the Furthermore. Going to be talking about Undergrounds on this week's Sunday's Funny Show. Hope you can join us. And folks, I hear you saying, what is Brother Randy Zimmerman talking about? Well, praise Jesus. We're going to tell you what it's about right now. Check him out on Sunday morning. Great way to start the day.
Now, every Sunday morning, longtime independent comics creator and Indie Volt podcaster Randy Zimmerman hosts a discussion on the lighter side of comics, the more whimsical and fun comics out there on the Sunday Funnies. That's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday on Indie Volt, indievolt.com, the Indie Volt YouTube channel, and the usual Indie Volt sites on Facebook. Listen in, won't you? Participate in the chat. Let's have some fun. See you there.
I love that show. I watch it on the reruns. Randy Zimmerman runs an incredible show, and with some great guests on there. And if I ever get, and Randy, if I figured out my problem, if I stop going to bed at 3 a.m, I might be able to get up in time to be on your show. But anyway, I have a fun time with Randy. He's a great host. And he talks about fun comics, not just the dark crap that's out there, but stuff that actually you read it and you feel better for having read it. It kind of reminds you of what's good in life, and I love looking at that ad, Randy, because I got or have owned a number of those issues, and any ad with a Sugar and Spike in there, I love Sugar and Spike. That's one of my favorite comics ever. That's just such a great show. So if you want to appreciate good comics, check out Randy Zimmerman's Sunday Funnies. And Randy is also on the Indie Volt Network, indievolt.com. And hey, Randy, do you think I should approach Varian into being on the Clever Title Pending sometime? I heard he might not mind it. Although I noticed when you were on Clever Title Pending a couple weeks ago, which also, folks, you should check out Randy on Clever Title Pending. He was fantastic there too. He's just great at everything. He's a fine monkey drawer too. But I noticed when you got on the show later, Varian wouldn't mention the name of my show. Anyway. I know he's jealous. And I can help his career so much. Anyway, check out Sunday Fundies, a fantastic show on Sundays. And also check out 9 a.m. Eastern Time on Thursdays. Randy and Varian Grant do a great coffee show. Started out your morning, some morning coffee on Thursday mornings. So check out indievolt.com, also IndieVolt on Facebook and on YouTube. All right. And Cindy Cap says tonight, 7 p.m. Central, tune into the Historical Fencing Guild for more fun and good info and lots of great Nick Tockard. Fantastic. Thank you, Cindy. And Glenn B. Fleming's trying to flag down Randy. Hey, Randy. All the cool kids are here now. And Cindy Cap, I just finished reading The Simple Sword. If you want to know how to practice killing people safely, you should get one. That's a good book. That is a seriously good book. And sounds good, Joe, says Carleen. And support your local sword master. That's Nick Tockard. He's one of us. And Russell Allen, good to see you. Good morning, Nevermorians. Hey, RussExplodeStudios.com. Also, Zenon NI Titan on Kickstarter. Check that out. I think he's in the downhill side of that, and that project deserves to be funded. Please check out his thank you gifts. You will be glad you did. And there we go. Gospel Illusionist Jake Lindsay says, speaking of injuries, my tailbone injury has fully healed. That is good news. Now stay safe, young man. Stay safe. Also check out Bill Sarton's artwork on Sarnart 76, the artwork of Bill Sarton for great vintage cartoonists. Says Cindy Kemp, thus you must do it. All right. And we shot past a whole bunch. I see a comment from Randy. I'm gonna have to think about where I'm gonna say it or not. And Russell Allen says, can't stay long at work today and stop to get fuel. I hope everyone has a great weekend. You too, Russell. I hope you do too. And keep cranking on that Kickstarter, man. We're proud of you. And hashtag keep bring cookie home. Thank you, Cindy Cap. Love you, hon. And please check out Zenon and I Titan on Kickstarter now at that address. Please check it out. He's got some great thank you gifts that you are going to do it. And I didn't do it, says Jake Lindsay. Well, we're going to have to keep an eye on you. And by the way, 3 midgets and a taser. I've got to get an explanation on that. And how can I be out of break so soon, asked Cindy Kemp, especially since she's out of it before I even got to her. Sign up now for Rising Tides newsletter for fun links and good info. Hey, did you check out the races this month? Did you check out the races? Wasn't that great? Joe Dog McKeel turned me onto that. And I've got that and marble racing. I've now got 2 obsessions and towing videos. I've got 3 obsessions now. And also check out CKOEPP.com. Sign up for Cindy's free newsletter. Promise you won't regret. You will not be unsubscribing. It is a joy to receive. And Teresa Dunn says, now that Thanksgiving is over, here's something else to be thankful for. My books, Poetry Expressions and Poetry Expressions 2, both would make great Christmas presents for a loved one or a friend. Please check them both on Amazon under the name of Teresa D. Dunn. There's another Teresa Dunn on there who's an author, but she is not one of us. Teresa D. Dunn is. So anyway, wow, Joe Dog, says Carl Witzman. And I keep forgetting to say R.I.P. to Hugh Keyes Byrne. He played probably my favorite villain of all time, Immortal Joe from Mad Max, Fury Road. I have a painting of him on my Facebook page. Oh, is that who that is, Grant? Okay, cool. But yeah, that's a shame. We're losing a lot of good people, unfortunately. And Taser Melons, actually Taser Melons says Carl Witzman. Oh dear. And you'll never guess who had me on Facebook. Ed Alonso from Master of Illusions. Good for you, Jake Lindsay. Good for you. And Carleen says, don't make me mad, Brian. I'll free you to admit to playing World of Warcraft for 2 hours every day. Yeah, 2 hours a day is okay. And you still get things done. It's the person who says, well, I couldn't write a single word last night because the minute I woke up, I put on my, I got into my yesterday's underwear, choked down some potato chips, drank two full 2-liter bottles of Mountain Dew, and sat down in my own excrement from last week to play World of Warcraft. And then they complain, well, how do you get so much work done, Brian? I don't play World of Warcraft. No, I don't begrudge anyone gaming. I don't begrudge anyone doing other things, but don't use it as an excuse to not create. All right. And hashtag bring cookie home. Thank you, Teresa Dunn. Much love, hon. And Carlene is wondering if I'll say hashtag taser tits. No, I won't. You won't get me to say that on the air. And in person, Carl, you're my favorite writer. Carl, get away. I don't want an extended warranty. Yes. That's about the only way you'll get me to buy one anymore. And if you missed Eric Hawkins on Drawn in Quarterly Fan Edition last night, you missed me reveal my deepest, darkest secret. So I suggest you go rewatch it. Oh, you sly dog, you. I'm smarter than to reveal mine anywhere. But anyway, Eric, we will have to check that out. Anyway, you are always on top form on this show. We got to get you back on Clever Title Pending, dude. And thanks you for reminding me, the Eric. And Smash Mouth did the cover. No, there's more than one cover of that song. Monkeys got a lot of great covers. And Carlene says the Monkeys were awesome. I have a 4-disc collection of all their works. Yeah. Their stuff is so listenable. Even the later couple albums without Peter Tork, because they were a quartet for most of it, for about 5 or 6 albums, and then they lost Peter Tork, who was having some personal problems and wanted to get away from the Monkees phenomenon. And their soundtrack to Head is a great soundtrack album. I do enjoy it still. And Porpoise, that's the arrangement of Porpoise song I will love forever. But anyway, and I like that movie the more I see it. I get to understand it more. And it has Frank Zappa in it, along with Annette Funicello. Dig that. But anyway, then they did an album that was just Mike and Mickey and Davey, which was really quite good. But by this time, they were turning into like what the Beatles were doing. They were basically 3 solo artists on the same record. My friend David Anthony Kraft, I think it was, had a great explanation of the White Album by the Beatles, saying that was really the precursor to the 4 solo careers of the Beatles, in that they each had their own set of, they had were playing on each other's songs, but they were basically, this is George's song, and he's going to bring in other musicians like Eric Clapton to play on it, or John's going to bring someone in to play on his, like Yoko, or Paul's going to bring in extra people, Ringo's going to bring in extra people, and setting up more for their solo career more than Abbey Road was, which was them as a true musical unit. Now on Facebook, Eric Hawkins says, now if you miss him on Drawn in Quarterly Fan Edition last night, he's still revealing his deepest, darkest secret on there, and so we're going to check that out after the show and to see if we've got a new source of income, namely blackmail. Check him out on Drawn in Quarterly. Eric Hawkins is amazing, and check out the Zombie for World of Oz, the best comic book out there. Joe Dog McKeel, my addiction to Nevermind the Furthermore has gone out of hand. I fire up my Bluetooth speaker to take with me every time I leave the room. Help! May this be an addiction. May this be a monkey you never shake off your back, Joe Dog. And I am not talking about Spank the Monkey by Randy Zimmerman. Bill Sarton says, Perry Como did a hard rock version of the Monkees. I'm a believer. Time for Brian to change his meds. No, he didn't. No, he did a Perry Como. I like Perry Como. No, there was a group, and I heard them a lot on WPGU out of Champaign at the time. They had a song called "The Girl of My Dreams," and they had like a hard power pop kind of version of I'm a Believer. Now, it's not like camper band Beethoven, but it's a name similar to that. I don't remember if it was Beethoven or what. But anyway, I will find that eventually. I will get. And you got it bad, Joe, and Joe's never had it so good. Grant Lankert says, I can kind of relate to both Frank Zappa and Prince because they seemed like people who were frustrated that they had more ideas than time to carry them out. Not that my ideas are that good. Grant, I'm going to stop you on that last sentence. Never say that. Your ideas are great, man. But I know both of them suffered from the fact that they had these grand musical ideas, but they couldn't always get musicians who were of that caliber. I mean, the Mothers of Invention had some amazing performers in there. But Zappa was always looking to about 3 or 4 levels up, as I think Prince was too. Now, Prince realized if it was to come about, only he could do it. Only he had the chops to do it. And then he had to teach his bandmates to play up to his level. Zappa was always, I think, looking towards having orchestral stuff, or at least a lot of his stuff. But, he had some really talented musicians. But, the original Mothers of Invention, except for maybe Elliot Ingber, were really kind of garage band things. And Zappa was always looking about 3 or 4 levels up. And time to feed Cookie. Have a blessed day, my friends. Love to all of you. Back at you, Jake. Take a manly kiss there. Check out Jake Lindsay. He's a great guy. Thank you for being here, Jake. And thank you, Bobby Nash. Good morning. Bobby Nash was on fire the other night on Clever Title Pending. BobbyNash.com. ben-books.com and abrahamsnow.com. I've got this stuff memorized. Anyway, you should memorize the work of Bobby Nash. He's a great writer and a great friend. Glad to have you here, Bobby. Good morning to you. And foreplay, says Joe Dog. Well, I don't have time for that, so we're going to have to just do 3-play, Joe Dog. Sorry. And anyway, it's always a good idea, Joe Dog. Yeah, that's true. And oops, I meant the name of the song. No, that's not the name of the group. That's frustrating me now. I will probably post it as a comment on the end of the show. And Trevor Hawkins, hello, I'm late. Well, I am too. We're way behind in comments that you noticed, Trevor. Glad to see you here, though. And Carl Westman just teasing Joe. I knew that. Carlene says, theater seats are painful thanks to a back injury. I usually end up standing at the back. My home theater is much better and can be paused while we Amy Hale. Yeah. I'm of the vintage now that doing my Amy Hales is pretty damn important to me. And it's also really important to the upholstery, too, if you know what I mean. Rick Bradley, the same thing happened to Dollhouse by Joss Whedon on Fox. The numbers were low for the night it appeared on, but it was a Friday night, so people were recording it and watching it later. Yeah, see? That's where entertainment's going, watching it at more convenient times. And welcome to the party, pal, says Carleen. Trevor Hawkins says, Carl, I think you asked me to message you on Facebook a day or two. I don't have Facebook, but I do have Instagram. Yes, Trevor doesn't do Facebook for personal reasons, as if I were smarter, I wouldn't either. But anyway, no problem, Trevor. I was going to invite you to the humor group. You'll probably live longer without it, but not as well. There's quality of life to consider. And I have to disagree with you, Brian, on your comments on digital books, movies, etc. Having those options are fine, but don't take away real books, movie theaters, etc. Didn't Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451 warn us about things like this? To a degree, but I think he was going for the idea of books being, a source of, possible rebellion. And I will disagree with you, Bill. I think that a book from its very creation is real, whether it is digital, whether it is in your hands. And I have, you'll hear people go, well, I love the smell of a book. Well, yeah, the only time I've ever seen anyone talk about the olfactory qualities of a book, or when they say it stinks, okay? And you don't want that. But no, whatever gets our work into people's hands is real. And anyone who and I will disagree with you till the sun burns out, Bill, on this one, but we will still part as friends in that cold day. But seriously, a digital book is every bit as real as a physical book. The ebook of Volcana is every bit as real to its owners as this solid volume here. And again, as long as it gets our work into other people's hands, that's the main thing. That is the bottom line on that. So you can disagree all you want, but digital is becoming real. And with more people sampling movies on download than ever before, and where would we be if all we had were just physical copies? I don't know that'd be a better world. And Trevor Hawkins, and someone made Trevor cry. Line up for your spanking. And there's Michaela Jade offering me money. Cool. And Rick Bradley says, I love going to the theater. Granted, with a 2-year-old and trying to find a babysitter, I've missed out on many a movie. So I'm okay with what Warner Brothers is doing. It's only for a month, and it should still be in theaters. I think people will still go, but this is a good alternative for people who can't get out. Now, see? That's why we have digital. Or people like myself that just don't get the full experience of movie theaters anymore. And I can stop and start and rerun it whenever I want. And Rick, I will amplify that. They just Warner's in part of their release saying they're going to release all their movies both in the theaters and on digital, or download, through HBO Max the same day. And they said they are going to do it throughout 2021. They've just released a full slate of movies for 2021, and they're going to both formats. Philip DeFranco had a good commentary on it. I think it was last night or the night before, saying that and I agree with this, that they say this is only through 2021. And he and I both say, it'll be only through 2021 if it doesn't succeed. Okay. Otherwise, I think you're seeing the wave of the future. So get used to it, people. And Under the Cherry Moon was not a follow-up to Purple Rain. It was a standalone movie that he did in a noir type style, says Joe D. McPhee. Good point. I just say follow-up as this is the movie he did next. Much like Help was a different movie than Hard Day's Night. And God bless the Beatles for doing something different. But it, to me, it's still the follow-up because it followed, just like issue 2 is a follow-up to issue 1. Graffiti Bridge was the sequel follow-up movie to Purple Rain because it continued the story of what happened after the Battle of the Bands at Seven Corners. I forgot completely about Graffiti Bridge. I guess that's how much of an impression it made up on me. So thank you, Joe D. McPhee, for correcting me. Seriously, I do thank you. And who's Michaela spanking now? Dibs. And Michaela J says, I was waving, but I can make an exception for you. Let me get my camera set up. I'll pay to see this. But yeah, she was offering money, like shut up and take my money. And Grant Lankert says, I gave that advice to someone the other day. A guy asked me how to make a comic book, and I told him, do it. Don't wait till you know how to do it because you'll never do it. And yeah, and a lot of creativity, Grant, that's an excellent point there. You learn by doing. And Brian Wesloff says, Disney is going to make a huge announcement on December 10th about their Disney Plus plans for 2021. Better hold on to your butts. Can I pick somebody else's butt to hold on to? Ladies, I'll be talking to you later. Brian, call your New Year's show Escape from 2020. Yeah, let's go Snake Plissken on 2020. I like this, Trevor Hawkins. Good comment. Movie fans, I highly recommend watching the John Campea show on YouTube at 1 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be really good today. It's good every day, Brian. Thank you for letting me know about this. And Mac Gatt from Facebook says, you stole money from grandma? No. If grandma's got a paper route, she's giving us 10% because she's borrowing our bicycle. And ignore the knee. Must have been one of the Monty Python folks that added that. It says Trevor Hawkins. Are you a knight who only types knee? Is that it? Adrian Sayers from you. Stop stealing money from your grandma. You go get a real job. Oh, Adrian, we don't use that F word here. But anyway, the real job is stealing from grandma. And Scott Meyer says, I thought you guys wore white cone-shaped hats. I like the new red. No, we're not cone heads. Fez, and we definitely are not the Klansmen here. No, the Fezes are cool. Fezes are cool. And give Grandma her money back. Grandma's working for me now. And all you people. And let's see. And we got a whole bunch of people from Facebook here. And Mark Gatt, guess what? For saying that about our friend Randy Zimmerman, I apologize. I did not mean to put that up there. Let's see here. Oh, where do I take? Let's see. Anyway, we're going to be taking that comment out. That was very, very uncalled for. And Adrian Sayers is a troll. Yeah, I'm seeing that. And this will be his. And there's a whole bunch of people on here that are going to make their last appearance on here. You play nice or you don't play at all. And you definitely don't say that about my good friend Randy Zimmerman. Tomorrow at 2:15 Eastern, Reels and Heels will be discussing Christmas films, and we'll even have a debate segment on films that fall into the Christmas film formula, but have been debated for years, including Die Hard, Gremlins, Lethal Weapon, and more. And I'm lobbying for The Long Kiss Goodnight. And Brian Wentzloff, it does seem that way. We're going to take care of him. And Taser Melons, that's the greatest word ever. I'm going to tattoo that across my boobs. Well, pictures or it didn't happen. And the mask and the merch was and is a genius idea, Brian. Thank you, Sarah. I wore it this morning to the meeting, and they were properly impressed. So definitely get yours now. Definitely stay safe and be stylish. And yeah, there's trolls in the dungeon. Well, we're going to take care of this as soon as the show's over. And when it comes to movies, physical media is better because it's not compressed like streaming is. Most people don't know the difference, Brian. That's the thing. That's why you can have like a JPEG and people think it's awesome when it doesn't have the information that say like a ping would have. So, but most people, as long as they're getting it, dude, would you rather create something and have people not see it than create something, even if it's in a lesser form, and still have people see it? I mean, I still watch old silent films, and they're nowhere near the quality of current films. And I'll bring out my whip for whoever made Trevor cry. I agree. We don't have that around here. And Trevor's crying because he can't be a part of the Grumpy Uncle Carl's secret humor group or the green rooms. Well, we gotta find a way for this to happen. We really do. And I'm not getting the thing. Maybe it's because it's from Facebook there. I'm checking out something. Okay, it's a Facebook thing. I can't. Well, we're going to take care of that. There's going to be some people get blocked. And Chad Betha, you're going to be one of them. It looks like you're all the same group of lowlifes. Anyway, I can't do anything about that then. I was looking forward to cracking the whip. Everyone, be sure you block these people, the trolls on here, that we don't need to be seeing stuff from them. Disney Plus announcement, open your wallet. The mouse don't give away nothing, says Joe Dog McKeel. Oh, yeah. And Carl Westman says the Facebook folks have lost their minds. I don't know they had anything to begin with. And thank you, Dark Mistress, says Trevor Hawkins. Oh, we got a love connection. And Sarah goes, you're welcome, Trevor. And Charles F. Millhouse says, hey, all Christmas shopping, just stopping to say hi. Charles, glad to have you here. Thank you for Wednesday night. That was such a cool show you were on with the people from Clever Title Pending. Check out that show from Wednesday night, the special edition of Clever Title Pending, with Charles F. Millhouse, Kelly Austin, Bobby Nash, Rick Bradley, and maybe me, who knows. And Paul Bush, good to see you, brother. How you doing today? Much love to you and the family. And the crying emoji, says Trevor Hawkins, was missing out on the humor page. I guess I do need to live longer. You do. And Sarah goes, the whip cracks on the troll that showed up on the Book of Faces. I can bring it out after all. Crack, whip won't enjoy it either. And anyway, that is all the comments we're going to read today. It looks like I have some housekeeping to do on Facebook, definitely. And Carlene says, Trevor, you can always have Facebook and join the group and then ignore Facebook till the shows on Friday night. That's probably what all we all should be doing, except Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays and Tuesdays. Anyway, we finally caught up. You guys were on fire with the comments today. Good Lord. Even the idiots, who will be taken care of, I promise. Anyway, thank you all. And yes, it's time to feed you. Yes. Cookie says it's time to feed her. She's nodding. You can hear her nodding. That's going to make a good graphic later. Thanks, honey. And we had trolls today.
had trolls?
Yeah, we had trolls, and somebody said the F word to Randy Zimmerman, and we ain't putting up with that crap. Randy is awesome.
Fantastic? They called him fantastic?
They should have. They'd still be here if they were.
Formidable?
Formidable. Oh, that's definitely Randy Zimmerman. He is definitely formidable, fantastic, and fun. Anyway, and Sarah says, I love you too, Sarah. I really do. Love you, hon. And much love back to you. And Eric Hawkins says, I think Trevor isn't on Facebook to avoid Brian, and I don't blame him. I'm pretty nasty. I'm a troll too. But anyway, with that, we are going to bid you all a cheese fondue for the day. As you heard, we must feed our woman, or I'm her man because she's keeping me. And so anyway, folks, just to remind everybody, tomorrow we are going to be a busy people. We are going to have a special, lot of broadcasting tomorrow, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We are going to be get to December, Brian. There we go. We got our own book here. Tomorrow, starting at 1:15, I will be at CromCon 9 with Pops Van Zandt. Looking forward to that. We're going to talk about elevator pitches. So please, we're going to hopefully share it on my pages. Please come by and we'll talk elevator pitches, how to do them, and why you should do them. People appreciate it, believe it or not. Then at 5 p.m. Eastern to 5:30, I will be helping TL Shively. I'm taking over her page for a little bit to talk about her brand new book, The Battle of Sleeping Lady. Check that out on Amazon. You'll be glad you did. And then at 6 p.m. from 6 to 7, we will be doing a special takeover for Charles F. Millhouse, talking about Pulp Reality #1. And we're going to make that a special Nevermind the Furthermore, and you can ask me anything, and I will answer, unless you're a troll. And then we will block you. But anyway, please check out the stuff we got going tomorrow. Tonight, Uncle Carl's Secret Humor Group. You can get on there by talking to Uncle Carl or Aunt Donna Carleen. And it's fun, but you must be unoffendable, okay? And it's a great show. We are going to have fun. And if you can't be there, or if you can be there simultaneously, also check out the Historical Fencing Guild with Nick Tockard, who runs a fantastic show about bladed weaponry. And please pick up his work. Check out the links that you see on this show here, because there's a lot of people doing some really cool stuff. And we hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day and an even more fantastic weekend. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate you greatly. And we want to thank you again, Plasma Fire Graphics, for sponsoring this show. PlasmaFireGraphics.com, when the look of your book matters to you. And plus, we also want to thank our Patreon members here. Cindy Cap, Jeffrey Hayes, John B. Pica, Brian Rodman, Tina McHenry, and Renmillion. These are all wonderful people who are supporting us on a monthly basis. And if you do, we promise you some good stuff. Please check us out on Patreon under Brian K. Morris, all one word, all lowercase, or DM me directly on Facebook, and I will send you the link. Or just check out that QR code there if you would. But please support us on Patreon, because even $1 will get you something. So anyway, folks, thank you all for being here today on, as always, this very special episode of Nevermind the Furthermore. We'll be back Monday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. We hope you'll join us then. And be sure to go to risingtide.pub and sign up for our free monthly newsletter, where we have secret links, inspirational quotes, let you know what's going on with Rising Tide publications, as well as motivation, education, and inspiration with every issue. And if you're watching us on Facebook, on either the Rising Tide publications page or Indie Event page, please give this video a like. And or if you want us to not be a part of your search engine, don't like it. All right. I think we will drop out. That's fine. There's some of you I think we should do that. But anyway, also please also like the page you're watching it on, because it helps them in their searchability. It takes just a second, costs you nothing, but it helps the people hosting those pages so very much. Also, the same thing on YouTube. If you like what you saw here, please give this video a thumbs up, and also be sure to subscribe to the page, whether it's Brian K. Morris Rising Tide Publications or it's Geek Insider. Again, just takes a second or two, and be sure to ring that bell so you're notified of any future videos that we do. Also, let's see, what else have we got here? See if we got anything else. And I think that's it. So anyway, folks, thank you for being here on Nevermind the Furthermore. Hope to see you this weekend on various CromCon and the couple of takeovers we're doing tomorrow. We're looking forward to being on those places. Please check us out. We'll try to post something later so you'll know where to find us. And anyway, thank you for watching today's show. We hope you have a fantastic weekend. Don't let any excuses get in your way. Burn those excuses and just get to the finish line. Set your creative goals, get started, and get that first draft done, because you can't edit what you don't create. All right, everyone, thank you for being here as always. And in closing, this is Brian K. Morris, host of the show, because nobody else is bragging about it, telling you to stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, and never apologize for being awesome, because that's exactly what you guys and gals are. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday morning on Nevermind the Furthermore.
Now, every Sunday morning, longtime independent comics creator and Indie Volt podcaster Randy Zimmerman hosts a discussion on the lighter side of comics, the more whimsical and fun comics out there, on the Sunday Funnies. That's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday on Indie Volt, indievolt.com, the Indie Volt YouTube channel, and the usual Indie Volt sites on Facebook. Listen in, won't you? Participate in the chat. Let's have some fun. See you there.
Author Cindy Kepp is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kepp at CKOEPP.com today.
Go thee to thy rest, O shades. Thou hast served well in life. Now take thy reward.
Stormgate Press presents a collection of 7 new short stories from today's leading authors and illustrators in the new pulp genre. Experience courageous two-fisted heroes and their intrepid and often dangerous exploits. From dark, watery depths to high-flying heights, these fantastic tales span the globe and take the reader on fast-paced adventures in classic pulp style. Take a seat as we pull back the curtain on Days Gone By with edge-of-your-seat storytelling in the vein of Golden Age era pulp fiction. This is Pulp Reality. Available now from Stormgate Press on Amazon.com.
This is the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Also catch us on the HWWS Web TV YouTube channel. Subscribe today and become part of the legend.
Thank you for tuning in to Nevermind the Furthermore, a Rising Tide Publications and Brian K. Morris production. Member of the Comic Book Advocating Network and sponsored by GeekInsider.com. Become part of our show with sponsorship and advertising opportunities. For details, contact advertising@geekinsider.com or visit podcast.geekinsider.com. The Geek Insider podcast is available on your favorite app, so please hit the follow button and share it out to your friends. Because if you don't, you might have to turn in your geek card.